Welcome to the Andrea system.
Transmission sequence activated. Paper engaged. Awaiting transmission approval. Approval received. Sonification coordinates locked. Initializing vapor transmission sequence. Engaging vapor. Engaging vapor. Engaging vapor.
Of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy. Look out for yourself. But I'm ready. Your words up on the wall as you're praying for my phone, and the laughter in the halls and the names that I've been called. I stack it in my mind and I'm waiting for the time when I show you what it's like to be worse fit in a mind. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy. Look out for yourself. They said pray away. I swear that I'll never be a saint. No way. A chair in the corner is my place. I stare, I shake, and I think about the powers it play. The powers it play. And the kids in the dark that were doomed from the start. The child in the basement, face to the pavement. Oh, what a statement. Love is embracement. Love is a constant. Love is the basis. He cannot be, she cannot be, they cannot be changed. But keep on praying. Goodbye. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. I swear I'll never be a saint. No way. My enemy. I swear
graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Greetings, universe! My name is Orbital Bacon, and I am certified G1 and a real freaking prime. Welcome to another live stream. It's Friday, the end of the week. That means if you're here, you are indeed made of sterner stuff. Booga booga and wooga wooga, bim bams and flum bums. Oh, what's going on? Welcome back to another Sterner Stuff Live. It's Friday. We're kicking off the weekend. You know how we do every weekend, every Friday night, kicking it off right. We're going to kick back, relax. We're going to A-log some cartoons, enjoy the memes for Saturday morning's lineup.
Gotta start Friday the right way. Cake for all.
Oh no, is she going to? Nope, failed every time. Cake detected, failed every time, never passes it. Poor Yuri, man, cake detected. All right, she never passes that stealth check. But thank you, Crossfire. That is a good way to kick it off here. And like I say, we kick off every weekend right here Friday night. We're going to be A-logging some cartoons, going over the latest memes for these decades-old cartoons here. We're also taking a ticket to ride on the BOOGA train.
To all the Baconeers and a reminder, just stick for Tiggy.
Well, no, justice for Snarbo. I think Tiggy's still all right, but we're gonna vote Tiggy 2028, okay? Because you can't rig the Tig, so we're gonna be voting Tiggy 2028. Let's go. Thank you there for the ticket to ride on the BOOGA train, Richard Hooper. Yeah, we're gonna be going over some news and updates that I got. I got the Saturday morning preview for you here, and then of course everybody's favorite segment coming up at the end of the show, the Waifu Roundup. Let's see if we can fuel up that perpetual waifu machine, stack up those meters. You know the waifus go whack for the stack. Let's go, Mavericat! Hail, Mavericat, hail!
No, Crossfire, this is how you start Friday night off right.
Let's go. Thank you, Maverick. I appreciate that. Based. Let's go. So yeah, we've got all the segments for you here tonight. Got a good show lined up for you. Tomorrow morning is volume 102. We have passed volume 100, and we're going to keep it going just like we did last week with a bunch of new shows, some stuff from the late 60s, the 70s, some stuff from the 80s, and some stuff from the 90s too. Lots of decades tomorrow.
Magnificent! Look at the size of that thing!
Our good friend and resident whale, Daryl Volek, won't be here tonight. So it's up to the rest of us to unlock pin-ups. Stand up. Be counted.
That's right. Stand up. Be counted. Can we hit it? Yeah, if Daryl is absent tonight, then yeah, we might have a little bit of trouble unlocking all the pin-ups because he is extremely generous, painting and rambling with a visit from the Gyat Fairy. Let's go.
I prefer to start with a dance.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, man. That's like, hey, these are all good starts.
Greetings, fellow Baconeers. Who's ready for new cartoons, new waifus and more pin-ups for the week? I got my soda, I got a new drink, Arizona fruit punch fruit juice, life is good.
Life is good, man. Life is good. And then
Hail the
T-Bone.
Baconeers, hail the Baconeers, wrangle waifus tanned or light. Hail the Baconeers, wrangle waifus through the night.
He's writing his own song lyrics here.
1 ticket, sir, I'll take the back train car, with Nocturna. Appreciate it.
Oh, really? Hey, we got to get in that Crossfire arena. Man, we got a BOOGA train rolling out real early. I hear it coming down the line already. BOOGA train's leaving the station.
Is that the
Let's go.
Chattanooga choo-choo? Right
It's always on time.
29.
The Chattanooga choo-choo.
Or you can give me a shot.
And there's Kitty in the back loaded up with pantsu. Let's go. Let's go, man. All right on time. Man, leaving the station already. We're going off the rails in the BOOGA train tonight. Oh, there you go, Crossfire. Hail. Hail Crossfire. Let's go.
Well, can't argue with Maverai Cat when he says it like that. Heel hentai.
I finally get a few days off, but when I come back, this happens!
Chester Stevens.
Oh, great! Shabaksa, you liar!
30 hit points on the board, let the battle commence.
Oh, we got a battle raging on. Let's go. Painting and Rambling coming out. Let's go. Hail Painting and Rambling.
Heel ISIS.
Oh man, that might confuse some people. I was telling Master Krakken, I was like, hey man, I would like to get a pinup of ISIS. And he didn't know, I guess he missed last Saturday's lineup and he didn't know who I was talking about. And he came back and he said, man, I Googled that and now like the FBI is after me because it's some sort of terrorist organization. And I'm like, no, man, you got to make sure you look up the show, The Secret of Isis, the show. We're talking about the Egyptian goddess there, sort of Timu Wonder Woman, I guess, even though she predates the Wonder Woman show, but not the comics, though, not the comics. But yeah, it was a little confusing there, a little, out of context, a little crazy there. But bass, let's go. Thank you guys so much. Big support right out the gate. And Chester Stevens putting big 30 hit points right up there on the health bar, starting off the battle. We do have a pretty good battle here. Lots of people in the running, not too far off Chester Stevens there, man. So you better keep your head on a swivel. You might get a massive super kick to knock you right out of the stream boss position. So better be careful, man. Better keep your eyes looking around there, darting about there. All right. But thank you so much, guys. Big support right out the gate. And yeah, I guess if Daryl's going to be MIA tonight, then we need all the help we can get unlocking those pinups, though. But I got a lot of good ones for you. A little bit of a theme tonight with them, too. A little bit of theme tonight. I call it Waifu a Go-Go. All right. You guys have seen previously in recent streams, it's one of the new popular fashion trends here on the Orbital station that we have waifus in like a go-go, sci-fi go-go outfit. That's kind of the theme tonight.
The Secret of Isis, when Wonder Woman and magical girls combine.
Yeah, exactly, Reverb 154. Fueling up the thrust bus, and then Bloodwork with another visit from the Gyat Fairy.
What would your vehicle form be?
I would transform into the BOOGA train, man. Yeah, cool spot. I know, I misspoke there. I was trying to say waifus a go-go, and I ended up saying waifos. But no, it was just me being dyslexic, I guess. I don't know. But thank you. Yeah, Bloodwork. I would transform into the BOOGA train, like Astro Train. I don't know if I'd be a triple changer, though. Probably just a regular old transformer. Got the robot mode, got the vehicle mode, but definitely transforming in the BOOGA train. We got to load it up. All right. Oh, T-Bone. I was wondering if the song was going to play. There we go.
Deep within T-Bone's jungle, bikini babe waifu on the beach. Suddenly, voracious wrangle sandcastle, wrangle just like a Princess Peach.
Did you prepare these poems again ahead of time? I'm wondering. Did you prepare these ahead of time? Because you did this a few streams ago and it was pretty impressive. And I think if I remember correctly, you told me that like afterwards you were like, yeah, I got those ready ahead of time. Like you were in the lab working on some poetry.
Very moist. Very wet.
To be fair to Isis, Wonder Woman had a bigger budget and a smaller outfit.
Only barely though. Well, the outfit, probably a much bigger budget. But yeah, only a slightly smaller outfit. You know, it wasn't too much. It wasn't too much. But thank you, Painting and Rambling. Sorry that glitched out there. You know, OBS, it's always picking at least one. Usually, hopefully, it's just the one. Sometimes it picks a couple of those pop-ups to not show, at least the first time. You know, that's kind of crazy that Linda Carter passes the stealth test. That's pretty crazy. I don't know. You would think, I thought Linda Carter would be a little thicker than Yuri from Dirty Pair there, but looks like she was able to pass the stealth test. What is going on? What is it? We're in upside down world over here. What's going on? So yeah, you know.
K's out. The Dirty Pair seem kinda like go-go waifus.
Yeah, they do. They have a bit of that style going on, like with their normal outfits, and then of course some of the other more casual attire that they wear from different episodes definitely have that go-go vibe going to it. The KO, K's out. Let's go. Thank you, Ron McChaos. And yeah, like I was saying, you're going to see a little bit of that theme tonight here for the first few pinups. In fact, you know, we've got a running theme going on. Then we've got a few, and not only are they some of the top fashion trends with the latest and greatest, you know, the go-go outfit, but it's also some of the greatest waifus. Okay, I always like to throw in some that are featured in the previous Saturday morning lineup, if possible, or at least recent. Maybe if it's not the last Saturday, you know, one of the recent Saturday mornings. But we had to get a few in there this week that are all-time favorites, okay? All-time favorites. So put your thinking caps on when we get to the Waifu Roundup so that you can guess them. I know you'll be able to. I do, because you always are. Even if I try to trick you a little bit with the silhouette, have like the hair throw you off, or Master Kraken even comes up with some ideas. He'll put like little cat ears on him or something, try to throw you off a bit. But I'm pretty sure you'll be able to guess like most of these, if not all of them. I don't even doubt for a minute. You know what I mean? So yeah, we've got some all-time top waifus. We got some all-time top fashion trends. And then we even have a waifu in the pinup lineup that was featured from one of the watch parties that we just wrapped up on. If you guys have been paying attention there in the Discord, OBTV, we've got, or we just finished rather, Pirates of Darkwater. So we've got a waifu from that, really the only one. I mean, that kind of gives it away. But we'll see if you're able to guess it, because the silhouette isn't like too obvious, you know, not too obvious. You know, we'll see. But yeah, so we've got plenty to get into tonight, guys. The latest memes for these decades-old cartoons. And I actually have some pretty cool news this week. Some pretty cool news. And one bit in particular was on the back of channel surfing. You guys sent in a lot of awesome clips on Wednesday. It was once I keep saying this, like, oh, it was one of the best themes, but this is like every week. It's like one of the best themes. But no, we really did have a lot of fun. I think it was 4.5 hours. Pretty crazy, right? Lots of great clips sent in, some stuff that I had never seen before. I saw a lot of people in the chat saying that they had never heard of those things before. And luckily, we're able to add a good bit of them into the lineup. So you're going to be seeing that tomorrow morning. Not only are we bringing back some stuff from previous decades that, you know, post volume 100, I told you we'd be going back to like the 60s, the 70s, and we got some stuff from there. But we also got some of the new shows that were shown on channel surfing on Wednesday. And this isn't even it, man. I've got more stuff in the pipeline. Man, it's going to be crazy. The next few Saturday morning lineups is going to take a minute before we start getting like the repeats and stuff. You know what I mean? But really cool stuff. And in the news and update section, because of one particular clip that was sent in, we actually, some really cool stuff is in the works now, guys. So I can't wait to get into that, let you know what's going on there. It's going to be pretty cool, all right? So we're going to have a good show tonight. Hopefully you're here for the long haul. Hopefully you got your pizza rolls, your spark, your spin, your crystal twist, your foo-pa, because we got a lot to get into, all right? We got a lot to get into. But before we get too crazy, before we get too out of control here, let me make sure to say hello to everybody in the chat, all right? For those of you that are new faces, you're going to know what to do in a second here. But for those of you that are familiar faces, you already know what to do, all right? You already know what to do. Put that bacon in the sky. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a good week. You know, it kind of flew by. And if you didn't have a good week, well, it's over. It can't hurt you anymore. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat here. We got Kenzo's Creations, who I'm going to meet in the Crossfire Arena for Nocturna. She's mine, buddy. She's mine. Painting and Rambling is in here. We got Philip Fabian, Tweety 6545. We got Nzeru, what's going on? Astro Knight, Wolfpack Gaming JD. We got Ron McChaos, hail. We got Darth Zed in the chat. Johnny Doe. We got Leave Me Alone, Please No. We got Zentron in here. Taverns Pull, hail. We got Crossfire, hail. Let's go. We got Lando's 5000. All right. Let's see. We got Chaos Mage. What's going on, Chaos Mage? Then we got, man, I'm already losing my spot here. Lots of bacon flying up into orbit there. I like to see that. Chester Stevens, hail. What's going on, buddy? Hunter Batista, Ace of Spades, 88, hail. What's going on, brother? We got Ronald Neal in here. We got Lynch, 85, hail, brother. We got Beer Drinking Dwarf, cheers. We got Tim J. What's going on, Tim J? Maverick Hat is in here. We got Indolent Imp. We got Reverb 154. Always good to see you, man. Lots of blue wrenches in the chat. Lots of blue wrenches there. Those are channel members over on Coffee, helping keeping the station in orbit and getting access to all sorts of exclusives. If you guys want access to exclusive art, as well as a whole library over 4 terabytes worth of cartoons, anime, and live action shows and movies. Most have been featured on the channel. Some haven't. If you want access to that, sign up over on Coffee. Let's see who else we got. Project Redfoot, what's going on? Duo Maxwell, we got Ruser 0084. We got Adrena Hawk. We got Daharka 88, hail. We got Cool Spot 89. We got Michael Russum, what's going on, brother? We got Bloodwork. Everybody run for crying in the mud, Bobby. It's Bloodwork. Let's see, we got T-Bone Tony. T-Bone, what's going on, T-Bone? We got Ricardo Vasquez. We got Alchemy. What's going on, Alchemy? We got Robert Chisholm. We got Molt Disciple. K Bahamut. We got Prince of the Abyss. Let's see. Man, I keep having to scroll down. That's good. That's good. I like seeing all that bacon flying up in the sky there. We got Brandon Heat. We got Kyle J. Vixen 4327. Painting and Rambling. What's going on? We got 4444 Lowbrow. We got, let's see who else. Gerald Black is in here. Christopher Coburn. We've got, did I say Taverns Full? I think I did. Taverns Full, hail. What's going on, just in case? Geek Goblin is in here. What's going on? Let's see who else we got. Richard Hooper. We've got Phobos. What's going on, Phobos, man? Lots of new faces. That's always nice to see. Hopefully the new faces will stick around, become familiar faces, because we do this every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're just, kicking off the weekend right. You got to kick back, relax. It's been a long week, hard week of work, school, whatever you got. I think most of us here, we're moldy oldie bacon ears, right? So we're just working during the week, right? So this is the best way to kick off the weekend. Hang out with the bacon ears, the best community on YouTube, and enjoy the memes. Like I said, the latest memes from these decades-old cartoons in the Saturday morning preview, the news and updates, some cool stuff this week, as well as everybody's favorite segment, the Waifu Roundup. All right, let's go. Let's go. Good to see everybody here. Hopefully you are doing well. All right, so let's go ahead and get the show started here. Enough hot dogging and grandstanding. Let's see what we got lined up for you. We're going to start things off with the Saturday morning preview. And like I was saying, we've got the decades, the time span has expanded, okay? So we're going into the 60s, late 60s, a few things from the 70s, a couple of things from the 80s, a couple of things from the 90s. We're covering all sorts of decades tomorrow morning. And not only that, but only 2 shows.
You're really stacked, aren't you?
Jungle Cat Girl waifu detected. T-Bone Python looks into her eyes. Carries her off to his Wrangle cave. Cat Girl sinks deeply, mesmerized.
Mesmerized, getting mesmerized. You got a Wrangle cave? I mean, normally we throw them in the wife cage, right? You got a Wrangle cave there. What's going on? Private info. What's going on, private info? St. Adam, hail. Glad you could make it. All right. Still seeing some people falling in here. That's always good. That's always good. We got a good crowd to start. Almost 100 people here to start off. I'd say that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Be sure to like up the stream if you enjoy these chill. I don't know what I say chill, but we get kind of crazy. Actually, we get a little crazy sometimes on here,
No, man, he's just zooking out. He'll be okay.
Yeah,
we like to zook out every Friday night. So I don't know. Maybe it's not so chill. Maybe it's a little crazy,
We like zook, see?
We like the zook, though. Okay, we like the zook. We like to get a little wild every now and then. All right. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying that. Be sure to like up the stream, and we're gonna do these every Friday night, as you know. And as I was saying about the Saturday morning preview, so tomorrow's lineup, only 2 shows have been shown before, as far as like, you know, they're new episodes, but shows that have been featured on the channel before. Every other show in tomorrow's lineup is new to the channel. And I think a couple of them might be new to a lot of people because, like I said, from Wednesday, we had a great show. Excuse me. We had a great show on Wednesday with the classic cartoons and animation theme. So nice. I think we're going to have to do it twice. But yeah, it was so good that we found a lot of new stuff. And most of it, not all, but most of it actually cleared the copyright checks. So we're going to be able to feature a lot of those shows that you guys sent in and have them in future Saturday morning lineups, including tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. A lot of new stuff, jam-packed with new stuff, mostly cartoons, although I did throw another one of those live-action Zook Fests in there, just like Secret of Isis. I don't know if it's going to be as based as Secret of Isis, because that's pretty hard to top. You know, that first episode we watched, Girl Driver, right? And of course, Isis herself being based every time she uses her powers. You know, so I don't know if it's going to top that, but it is a Zook Fest, all right? It is an absolute, you know, crank in the jank. It's super cheesy. And, you know, it's everything we love. It's everything we love. And I think some of you have even heard of it before, because if I'm not mistaken, I saw a few people asking, like, hey, when I was talking about we're going to start watching some stuff from the 70s, including live action shows, I saw some people put it in the chat like, oh, are you going to have this? You're going to have that? And yeah, one of them, I don't know if it was this or that, but it's one of them, okay, is going to be in tomorrow morning's lineup. So we'll get to that here in the Saturday morning preview. Let's check out what we got, because with all these new shows, we get new waifus, okay? Maybe even some new wrangling techniques, just like we saw last week. We got a bunch of new waifus from the new shows, some new wrangling techniques, okay? So we're going to have that here, as well as we have discovered Hordak's secret weakness, all right? You know, She-Ra, of course, you know, you can see her right here. She is like the cover girl of the Saturday morning preview segment. So, of course, we're having She-Ra in the lineup tomorrow. And a very unlikely weakness for Hordak, but we've discovered it, okay? It's no longer a secret.
There once was a man named Dave. He kept a dead hoe in a cave.
What?
She had one left tit and smelled like shit, but think of the money he saved.
That's like one of those old, like, I don't know if it's British or Irish, like they're those rhymes, you know, like at the pub. They're kind of messed up, like that one was. But thank you, Bloodwork. All right, let's not get too crazy here. All right, James D. Morris, what's going on, James D. Morris? Good to see you as well. So yeah, we've got Hordak's secret weakness has been revealed. A very unlikely, probably something you would have never guessed, but kind of fitting as well. You know, since we like the zooked out shows, we like stuff to be kind of cheesy and janky and stupid, right? So, and it is a stupid weakness. Something you would probably never guess, but oh, is it effective? Super effective, all right? So we're going to get to that as well. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm doing all this hot dog and a grandstand. Oh, wait, I do have one more bit of hot dog and a grandstand. And let's go ahead and shout out the stream boss, because we do indeed have a battle on our hands. Chester Stevens came in hot there, putting 30 hit points on the health bar. And I told you, man, I said, you better watch out, because there's a lot of others in the running already, okay? Keep your head on a swivel. You might get super kicked out, and it looks like it's already happened. Ron McChaos now with 34 hit points on the health bar there. All hail Ron McChaos, the stream boss. Get the pizza rolls raining. Get that waifu swinging for you, good sir. But don't get too comfy, because that's only 4 hit points ahead of Chester. Chester could come back. I mean, he wouldn't even have to necessarily super kick you, just like a visit from the Gyat Fairy, and you're dancing right out of there. You know what I mean? You're dancing right out of there, okay? Zentron, what's going on, Zentron? Good to see you as well, good sir. So yeah, we've got a battle for stream boss on our hands. This should be a good one. I think we'll have a good, and like I said, you are going to enjoy the pinups tonight. We've got waifus, a go-go. We've got some other ones, a lot of stuff from Master Krakken tonight. He's been hard at work. Oh, and let me not forget, he also brought Kitty out of retirement. Not that Kitty was fully retired, but I kind of, you know, giving him a hard time there. You know, Kitty was kind of slacking off, you know, not really doing his job, right? You know, he's the pantsuit patrol, right? Not really doing his job lately, but he's back at it. He's back with a vengeance, okay? You're going to see in these pinups, if we can unlock them tonight, you're going to see
that Kitty is back with a vengeance, and he's all that time off, he didn't lose his touch, all right? He's not slacking off on the job anymore, okay? So you're going to see that as well as the go-go outfit. So yeah, we got a lot of good stuff. Got a lot of good stuff for you tonight, all right? Vince Moy is here. What's going on, Vince Moy? Glad you can make it. And Coco Artist. Awesome, man. Coco Artist, man. It's good to see you guys. Glad you can make it. All right. Oh, look at that, T-Bone. T-Bone with a mesmerizing dance. We're getting mesmerized.
Belly dancer waifu, T-Bone Python, mesmerizing dance you will find. T-Bone's hypnosis, squeezing starts, no beating muscle scales that can bind.
That's like some sort of snake wrangle or something right there. That's a snake wrangle, man. That's crazy. Thank you, T-Bone, for that mesmerizing dance right there. And, man, I said like a visit from the Gyat Fairy would dance Ron McChaos right out of the chair. Well, he's been mesmerized. He's been stupefied. And while he was under that hypnosis, T-Bone has taken over Stream Boss. So all hail with a very respectable 68 hit points on that health bar there. Let's get the pizza rolls raining. Where are they? Where are the pizza rolls? Hold on. There they are. Pizza rolls raining. Waifu swanging for T-Bone. Let's go, man. Thank you so much, man. Big support right out the gate. I have a feeling that we are going to get to quite a few of those pinups tonight. You guys are going to enjoy that. All right. So for tomorrow morning, Saturday morning preview, like I was saying, volume 102, every volume, in fact, going forward from volume 100 is going to feature a lot of new shows. We're expanding the decades here. And I want to focus especially on these first few after volume 100. Want to put as much new stuff in as possible. And so only 2 shows have been featured on the channel before. The rest of the lineup, the whole rest of the lineup is brand new to the channel. Really cool stuff. I'm excited to get into it. And with new shows come new waifus and new wrangle techniques. So first up, from the Space Stars. You guys might be familiar with Space Stars because I believe it did air in the 80s, but it was just a repackaging of a lot of late 60s shows from Hanna-Barbera. So you had Space Ghost, you had Hercules, a few other things in there, all sort of repackaged since they were shorter episodes. You know, the episodes are pretty brief. They're like 7 minutes long. And normally it would be like Space Ghost and Dino Boy. So you'd get a couple of Space Ghost episodes, maybe one of Dino Boy in there. But then Space Stars, it would mix and match all sorts of stuff. Well, I'm not too big a fan of all the mix and matching. I don't know. Maybe it's just my OCD. I like for the 30-minute block, or really 20 minutes after commercials, I like for it to be one show. So we're going to focus on one particular segment from the Space Stars, and that is Teen Force. All right, we're going Teen Force, which is kind of like Teen Titans in space. Okay, just think of it that way. It's like Teen Titans in space, including our very own Temu Starfire. Okay, we have Starfire at home. Hey, Mom, can we get Starfire? You know, I'm a big fan. All right, you guys know. You've seen some of the previous pinups and stuff. You guys know I'm a big fan of Starfire. Can we get? No, we have Starfire at home. So we've got Temu Starfire here with Elektra, and like I said, Teen Force, kind of like Teen Titans in space. A little bit of like a knockoff, like Space Ghost, you know, because they had Jan over there, right? So a little bit like that, but they do their own thing. So we got a new waifu here, Elektra. We have Starfire at home, okay? And just like we found out last week, that even though these shows might be older, might be outside of the previous range that we had done in those first 100 volumes, sticking very closely to the 80s and 90s, only veering out every now and then to go into the early 2000s or maybe the very late 70s with the likes of Flash Gordon, which was like 1979. I'm talking late 70s, might as well have been the 80s, right? But just as we found last week, doesn't matter. All the memes apply. And so we've got a waifu driver. Oh, everybody run. She's behind a mode of transportation. Yeah, it's oldie but a goodie. Exactly, Lynch85. So, yeah, the same memes still apply. Waifu driver. She's got her own little space buggy here. They all do, in fact. All the members of the Teen Force have their own little space buggies. So luckily, if she does crash, it's only really going to affect her, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she ends up crashing into some of the other space buggies. I don't know. We're going to find out. But yeah, she's got her own array of powers. even though her name is Elektra, it's more like kind of a Jean Grey thing, a little bit of telekinesis in there. I mean, big surprise, psychic waifu, right? That was kind of the meme. Not one of the bigger memes on the channel, but something that we definitely noticed, a pattern that we definitely noticed with a lot of these old shows in the 80s and 90s, that almost every waifu in the show is psychic. Well, even back in the 60s and the 70s, the waifus were still psychic, okay? So she's kind of a psychic waifu, although it's not telepathy, it's more of the telekinesis, but same thing, it still falls under that, right? So we got a waifu driver here, Temu Starfire, riding around in a little space buggy and using her powers to deflect the wrangle beams. Look at this. By the power of her figure 8, her hourglass figure here, she's got the hourglass figure just deflecting the wrangle beams. What is this? We've got anti-wrangle technology already, putting up the force field, stopping the wrangle beams from firing. Well, I don't know. We might need a bigger ship, okay? Just like we needed a bigger boat to wrangle Sliced Ice when she became the giant waifu, we needed a bigger boat. Well, Temu Starfire here, if we're going to wrangle her, we're going to need a bigger spaceship, okay? Because handheld laser beams, like wrangle beams there, not going to do the trick. She's able to put up the psychic force field. But don't worry, we do have a bigger ship, okay? We do have a bigger ship. So let's check this out. Let's see what happens when we fire the wrangle tractor beam, okay? We got a whole starship, the Orbital Station. I don't know if you guys knew, but the Orbital Station comes equipped with wrangle tractor beams, all right? So let's check this out.
Astromites, watch out!
There she is, using that telekinesis there, Jean Grey. It looks like it's putting a bit of a strain on her there too. Little sweat on the brow. I don't know if she's going to be able to fend this off.
The problem with the Waifu Grand Prix is that the waifus least likely to crash, Charlie Girl, Tess, Kiva, are the mechanics.
Yeah, well, I mean, that makes sense, right? That makes sense, painting and rambling. But, it's you're in for a good show. Maybe we should, instead of doing the Grand Prix, maybe we should just do a demolition derby. Maybe that's better suited for the waifu drivers. Just put them in a big demolition derby. Maybe that's what we should do, right? Not a bad idea. Because it does give the edge to the mechanic waifus like Charlie Girl, Tess, Kiva. I'm trying to think. There's probably some others. But yeah, it does kind of give them the edge, right? So maybe we should just put them in a demolition derby since we know they're going to be crashing anyway. So if we make crashing the objective, then everybody's a winner, right? Everybody's a winner. So, that levels the playing field right there. But yeah, so here she is using her telekinetic powers here, trying to deflect the wrangle beams. But the Orbital Station, our wrangle tractor beam is powerful. It's strong. Let's go. We got a visit from the Gyat Fairy from Reverb 154.
Only in space can the waifu drive safely, due to the lack of solid objects to hit. But I have faith in this one. And if she tries to lead a waifu uprising, I may have to lock her down myself, even if I end up as Reverb 155 in the process.
See, you say that in space, the J-Law doesn't apply. J-Law is universal, including in outer space. So, are you sure about that? Are you sure? Only in space they can drive safely. Are you sure about that? I don't know.
Elektra, behind you! Elektra!
Wrangled by the beam, the tractor beam, the wrangle beam. And not only that, because see, this is what I'm talking about. This is space age technology. So not only does it wrangle her, but it teleports her right into the wife cage.
Good! Here she comes now!
Uglor! Where am I?
And we get a gasp, too. Oh, she's trying to take Voodoo's catchphrase there. Trying to do the gasp. That was a little brief one. She needs to work on that. Voodoo can deliver like multiple gasps in a row without even taking a breath. It's some sort of weird talent, useless talent number 319. But yeah, so not only does it wrangle her right out of space, but delivers her teleportation style right into the wife cage with the laser bars and everything. So yeah, we've got her wrangled and tangled. That's right, Master Godai in the chat. Shouts out to Master Godai, one of the official artists on the Orbital Station. Master Godai, a.k.a. Mr. Two Scoops. We probably probably going to have a lot of work for you after tomorrow because lots of new waifus tomorrow. You know what I mean? So we're probably going to need some new pinups. So yeah, very strong. Never underestimate the technological power here on the orbital station because yeah, we've got the wrangle beam delivering her right into the wife cage, wrangled and tangled. Let's go. So yeah, like I said, with new shows, we get new waifus, we get new wrangle techniques, new wrangle technology. All right. So this one isn't even necessarily a personal effect like the wrist-mounted grappling hook. This is an entire starship, okay? We've got an entire starship armed with the latest and greatest wrangle technology, okay? So yeah, it's going to be good. We got her in the wife cage there. Got her wrangled up in the wife cage there. Let's go. But not only that, because like I said, we've got a few episodes because I don't really care for the short, mix match. I like to keep them all. So instead of doing an episode of Space Stars as it aired in the 80s, we're going back, just taking these straight from the late 60s and airing, I think it's 3. I've got 3 episodes, like short little, they're like 7 minutes. So it equals, 3 of them equals the length of one full episode of Teen Force. So this is just from one of them. But since we watched Hercules last week, why not a crossover? Who's up for a crossover here? So that's right. We've got Teen Force in an episode meeting up with the Hercules. So that, double the waifu. So nice. We got to see her twice. You can see Tara there and her jungle mini skirt. So almost very close to the orbital station fashion trend of the Savage Land bikini. But still, nevertheless, it is orbital station dress code approved because it is a tiny mini skirt.
Tiny mini skirt!
That is a tiny mini skirt indeed, okay? Tiny mini skirt indeed. So yeah, we've even got a crossover here with the Herculoids. So it's going to be a lot of fun going back with these old shows because they had their own cinematic universe decades before Marvel was doing it, Everybody thinks Marvel's like the first cinematic universe or crossover with like TV shows, different characters showing up, different TV shows and movies and stuff. No, it was happening way back then. We've got the Herculoids showing up here with Teen Force. I'm sure Space Ghost might show up at some point, even if it's not tomorrow morning. I don't think Space Ghost shows up tomorrow morning, but I'm sure there are episodes with him in it as well. I've seen Space Ghost cross over with the Herculoids. In fact, I think I might even have that one in a previous Saturday morning lineup because I have shown Space Ghost before. But yeah, so we've got really cool stuff just in this first show here. New wrangle technology, an updated wife cage with the laser bars, and a crossover with the Herculoid. So it's going to be good. All right? And then to keep the sci-fi theme going, because we do have a lot of sci-fi tomorrow. It's kind of like half and half.
Holy wow. Memory unlocked.
Ganjeezy with a ticket to ride on the BOOGA train. Memory unlocked there. You remember Teen Force? I mean, you might have remember it under the name Space Stars. That's what I was talking about before, is they sort of repackaged these shows, mixed them all together, mashed them all up, and called it the Space Stars. But yeah, Teen Force, man, or Teen Titans in space. That's kind of what it is. So yeah, we've got all sorts of new waifus. You can see Elektra there. We have Starfire at home. There's some sort of alien princess there. And then, of course, the Herculoids from last week making another appearance in this crossover episodes. Almost said Crossfire. Got Nocturna on the brain here. Crossover episode. So we get another visit from Tara here in her tiny mini skirt. All right. So it's going to be good. And then we're going to keep the sci-fi theme going for these first few episodes. Okay. So that's kind of like half and half. First half, a lot of sci-fi stuff. Second half, getting into more like spy type stuff, a little bit of spy action going on, especially in the last couple of shows. But I might keep those as a surprise. You're going to know what they are because we saw them on Wednesday. But, you'll have to just be guessing, all right? You'll just have to be guessing until you see it tomorrow morning. But, yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff. So to keep with the sci-fi theme going in the first half of the lineup, how about some live-action jank, all right? You guys ready to crank the jank all the way up to 11? Okay, because this next show, it pours on the cheese, that thick Velveeta cheese.
Soft, very moist, very wet.
Jungle Wonder Woman waifu swings in T-Bone's jungle alone. Barely escapes Zook Lake of tentacles. Can she resist the eyes of T-Bone?
Let's go. T-Bone's got these awesome poems going, man. He's writing some lyrics.
I wonder if they cross over with Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels as well. We could add 3 more waifus for the lineups.
Yeah, man, like I'm going through as many shows as I can. Unfortunately, some of them do get blocked, even these like really old ones. It's kind of weird because, you know, Space Ghost, we saw that last week. Hercules, you know, we're getting Teen Force tomorrow. I was going to go for Birdman. Do you guys remember Birdman, or Harvey Birdman, as you might know him from Cartoon Network? That one gets blocked. It's kind of weird because I remember them all being part of sort of the same time, that same time frame from Hanna-Barbera, you know, Space Ghost, Birdman, Hercules, all of that was. Birdman gets blocked. It's really weird. I don't know why. Maybe because they adapted it into but no, that doesn't even make sense because Space Ghost and the you know, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, that got adapted into a Cartoon Network show. So like, I don't know why they, I demand Birdman. Yeah, unfortunately that one gets blocked. I was going to have that start the lineup tomorrow, but it was a no-go. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer there. But if Caveman, Captain Caveman, that is, if he doesn't get blocked, then yeah, hopefully we can see some crossovers with that as well. Maybe the crossover episode won't get blocked if it's featured in Space Stars or something. I don't really know. I haven't tested that one yet, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, we are going to keep the sci-fi theme going in the first half of tomorrow's lineup, and we're going to get into some live action Zook. Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready to crank that jank, okay? Pour on that thick Velveeta cheese, because this one certainly does. Oh, buddy. Oh, I don't know if you guys are ready. And let's see who recognizes this one. If this unlocks some memories, like for Gonjeezy there, if this unlocks some memories, let's see about this next one. All right, let's crank it up here with Jason of Star Command, okay? We've got Jason of Star Command, live action Zook. This show is pretty crazy. It's also similar to the Space Stars, you know, Space Ghost, Hercules, where the episodes are pretty short. They're only about 10 minutes long. So I've got 2 of them here. They go by chapters. They call the episodes chapters. So we got chapter 1 and 2 of Jason of Star Command. All right. And it all basically takes place on the Orbital Station. You'll see what I mean here in a second. I mean, if you can't tell already, we've got an Orbital Station dress code approved outfit right here. The skin tight bodysuit, right? Stacked and packed waifu right there. But you'll really see what I mean in a couple of slides, because they stick to the dress code. Okay, they stick to the dress code. Daryl Walick is here. Wait a minute, everybody was saying you're going to be MIA, but you're here. Oh, look out, T-Bone, look out, buddy. All right, your status as stream boss rather, might be revoked soon. Daryl is here. Okay, hail Daryl. Let's go, man. Glad you can make it, man. I'm glad you can make it. Let's go. So yeah, we've got a show that basically takes place on the Orbital Station, and it cranks a jank all the way to 11. You might not know it just by looking at this first slide. You're like, okay, this just looks like your standard 70s sci-fi, right? They got like kind of the goofy outfits, you know, the skin tight suits for the waifus, right? But let's take a look at the villain though. Let's take a look at the villain. Whoa, buddy.
No, man, he's just zooking out. He'll be okay.
So we have Captain Power. Do you guys remember Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future? Lord Dread, right? You thought he looked bad? I don't know. Kind of making him look pretty good now. You put him next to this guy. I believe his name is Drago. You put him next to this guy. He's like one of the main villains, if not the main villain. And suddenly Lord Dread from Captain Power isn't looking so bad. You know, suddenly he's doing all right. He's doing all right. Is that Sid Haig? I think so. I think it actually might be Sid Haig. And you're going to recognize quite a few faces in the show. I was actually pretty surprised. Like Scotty, I might be wrong. If it's not Scotty, like, and I'm talking Beam Me Up Scotty from Star Trek, okay? So if it's not Scotty, it's like his twin brother, because the guy looks just like him. So yeah, I think this is Sid Haig, and I think Scotty from Star Trek is in here as well. And like I said, if it's not him, it's like his twin brother, because he looks just like him, has the mustache and everything. So yeah, you guys are going to recognize a lot of people on here. But yeah, so we've got Lord Dread at home, right, from Captain Power, and he's looking a little rough. This is like dollar store Lord Dread, you know, when you get the dollar store knockoff toys and they look really bad. You call that a villain? Yeah, no, this is your villain. Your evil space lord, sir. You know, like let me deliver this on a silver platter. Your evil space mastermind, sir. Here you go. So yeah, we are zooking out.
We like Zook, see?
Okay, you like Zook, all right? You like cheese, you like jank? Well, you're getting it all to the nines tomorrow morning, all right? It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So yeah, that's your main villain there for Jason of Star Command. But let me show you what I meant though about how a lot of the memes still apply to these old shows, including the Orbital Station dress code, all right? So I showed you the main waifu before, but I had to take this screenshot right here. You know, it's one of the kind of the action moments, very reminiscent of Star Trek, more so the Next Generation than the original show, even though this predates the Next Generation. But if you guys remember, a lot of the action in Star Trek, the Next Generation was just people running down the hallway, you know, when shit was going down, you know, when stuff was starting to heat up and the villains were attacking, a lot of running down hallways. Well, I think this show originated it, okay? This one might be the originator of running down hallways when action is happening. But I had to take this particular screenshot. You guys already know why, right? I told you that this show takes place aboard the Orbital Station because they are all of these waifus are wearing the official Orbital Station, not just a dress code approved. We're talking the official uniform, okay, for waifus that work on board the station.
Tiny mini skirt!
Tiny mini skirts for all of them. Okay, tiny mini skirts for all of them. So yeah, you thought I was kidding around? You thought I was just making a joke there, making some sort of meme? No, this is on board the Orbital Station. They've got the tiny mini skirt dress code enforced. Okay, it is enforced here. All right, we run a tight ship. Okay, we run a tight ship here. All right. So yeah, it's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good. I'm not that familiar with this show myself, so I'm actually really looking forward to getting into it. You know, it was a little before my time, the 70s, you know, pretty well before my time. So yeah, I'm not too familiar with it, but I'm looking forward to get into it. So yeah, we're going to see 2 chapters because they're short. They're like 10 minutes each, just like we're doing with Teen Force, where we're putting 3 of the mini episodes together to make a full-length 30-minute show. We're taking 2 chapters of Jason of Star Command, and it's reminiscent of Flash Gordon as well. You know, I keep making comparisons to Star Trek, and like I said, there's actors from there, or at least one, and even the running down the hallway scenes. But it also is a bit reminiscent of Flash Gordon.
Yuri looks into T-Bone's eyes, her eyes start zooking out. Mesmerized in his large coils, T-Bone's about to K's YAMS out.
K's out as they're mesmerized. That's right. Thank you, T-Bone. Adding to that health bar there, he might have been, you know, preemptive strike, you know, in case Daryl comes in, tries to super kick him out of the stream boss chair. T-Bone's like, no, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little more to that health bar there. Thank you, T-Bone, man. Massive support tonight. Really appreciate it. So yeah, it's also a little reminiscent of Flash Gordon, because if you guys remember the Flash Gordon series, would almost always, just about every single episode, would end on a cliffhanger. And it was, you know, like the Adam West Batman. It's like, you got to tune in next time to find out what happens. But you only find out a little bit more of what happens, and it leaves you on another cliffhanger. So each chapter of this show does a very similar thing, where it doesn't really resolve the story. Maybe little elements of it get resolved, but it's always leaving you on a cliffhanger, telling you to tune in next time. But don't worry, I've got the whole show. All right, I've got the whole show, so eventually we will go through it all. That's why I'm starting at chapter 1 and 2. Sometimes I like to pick random episodes. In fact, I say sometimes. The vast majority of the time, I pick random episodes. I don't necessarily play them in order. But since we've got a lot of new shows coming in the works here, just like we did last week, got a couple of first episodes in there, and we're doing the same thing here this week with some of the new shows that we got in the lineup. Going to start at the beginning, especially with one like this, where it leaves you on a cliffhanger every single time. You got to tune in. It even gives you a little preview, like next time on Jason of Star Command. You know, shows you a little bit. You got to tune in. Same bad time, same bad channel, right? So we'll have the rest of the show eventually throughout, you know, spread out across various Saturday morning lineups. We're starting with chapter 1 and 2, and then we will keep going. You know, every other Saturday. I might alternate, in fact, you know, because we like these. You know, we like Secret of Isis a lot. You guys seem to enjoy that one. Had a good reaction to that one. And if we have a good reaction to this one, maybe we'll just alternate and kind of go back and forth. Every other Saturday, we'll continue Secret of Isis, and then the next one, we'll continue Jason of Star Command. But tiny miniskirts are not the only memes that will be showing up here, because everybody run, just like we saw in Teen Force, you know, with Starfire at home, driving around in a little space buggy. Well, who let the waifu at the controls of the ship? This is an entire starship. Wait a minute. Whoa, buddy. You're putting dozens, if not hundreds of lives in her hands, okay? This is a whole starship. You're letting her pilot the whole ship. What is going on? I don't know. You're going to have to tune in next time. Will she crash the ship? Find out next time. Same bacon time, same bacon channel. Will the waifu be able to pilot the ship to safety? I mean, it looks like they've encased her in some foam padding there. Like, I don't know if that's just the set design or if they really were just, you know, it's like going to be bumper cars. You know, it's going to be like bumper cars, and she's all padded in like it's going to be a roller coaster or something. I guess they know. They're like, look, we're letting her pilot the ship, but we're not that crazy, okay? Everybody's locked in with the foam padding there. All right, there's not going to be any injuries, okay? Everybody will be just fine. But maybe that's why they're running down the hallway. You know, like in this slide, right? Maybe that's why everybody's running down the hallway. Somebody let her pilot the ship. Everybody run. Everybody run. So, yeah, we've got all the memes still apply to these old shows. It's great to see. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's going to be the second show in the lineup tomorrow. Like I said, we've got sort of a sci-fi theme kicking off the first half of the lineup. And it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there, because if you guys saw the thumbnail, you might not recognize it right away. Maybe you recognize the art style, so that probably gave away the show. But you might not recognize the character. But we are going to have She-Ra, Princess of Power, which is still sort of sci-fi. I know it kind of has that fantasy mix in you know, sci-fi fantasy, you know, the elements mixed in as well, but it's still got plenty of sci-fi elements. I think it counts. Not to mention Cake Detected. What is going on? She-Ra, what? She's looking a little thicker than normal there too. That's kind of crazy. I don't know. But yeah, so we've got Perfuma, which is a character who I don't think we've seen before. In all the She-Ra episodes that I played quite a few, because this is like a sleeper hit. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought She-Ra would be that entertaining. I was like, oh, that's a girl show, whatever. But no, it's actually just as entertaining, if not more so, than He-Man. We've gotten tons of memes from She-Ra. She's the master of unwrangling. We've got the waifu bomb. And then, of course, all the other classic memes that already apply, like, you know, the J-Law, you know, Skeletor. That's where it originated, was She-Ra fainted, and Skeletor said, just like a woman. So, I mean, that's where it originated, and, of course, Cake Detected, right? But we've got a new waifu here that I don't believe has shown up in any of the episodes that I've played before, and that's the flower waifu there, Perfuma, all right? She's looking kind of, you know, like an overgrown fairy, you know, a little bit like an overgrown fairy. Mr. Bug with 10 big Bison Bucks.
Just running and gunning with this donate. Have a pleasant evening, everyone. Don't do anything you will regret or can't get rid of with enough bleach.
Thank you, Mr. Bug, man. Hey, it's good to see you, brother. It's been a while. You know, haven't seen you in a while, but hey, it's good to see you. I hope you are doing well. Kicking ass over there on Twitter, fighting the good fight against the wokies. You know what I mean? But good to see you, man. Thank you for the 10 big Bison Bucks. And yeah, we're having a great night, man. Friday is like the best night of the week. I mean, we have a lot of fun on channel surfing. That's a lot of people's new favorite stream, but Friday, it's always the best way to kick off the weekend. So I hope you're having a good weekend as well. Thank you, brother. But yeah, so she's kind of looking like an overgrown Gyat Fairy, you know, and not just the way she's dressed, but also her powers. Okay. So she has, powers reminiscent of Krista from Fern Gully. I mean, the Gyat Fairy herself, in the sense that she's able to make flowers appear. You would think that Perfuma would be more of a smell thing, because, you know, perfume, right? Maybe that's just because flowers smell good. And I mean, smell powers, how's that going to work, right? But no, she's more like Krista from Fern Gully, and she can make it grow. And so she gets wrangled and tangled. And let's see, it's not the most complex wrangling of all time, but she does indeed get wrangled. Let's check this out.
Oh no! Look! He's taking Perfuma!
classic caveman style, okay? So like I said, not the most complex wrangling, pretty simple, pretty old school, just caveman, just slung over the shoulder, okay? Just slung over the shoulder and just taken off, wrangled up, okay? But they do deliver her to the wife cage, much like we saw with Timu Starfire, aka Elektra from Teen Force. She got wrangled and immediately teleported into the wife cage. Now since this is a little more old school with the caveman style, she doesn't get teleported, just thrown in there, but she does end up in the wife cage. But as I said with her powers, she's making it grow. Daryl Walick is fueling up the thrust bus.
All I can do till I get this fixed. You safe debone for now.
Oh, thank you, Daryl. Well, hey, at least it came through. I know it was giving you some trouble. Stream Elements wasn't really letting you donate at all for whatever reason. Maybe they deemed you as too powerful. Okay, they said, no, Daryl, you're too powerful. Okay, you got it. We're gonna break the streak. It's interference. It's interference, man. Just like in a wrestling match, interference. They come in, they get you disqualified or whatever. They're interfering in your Stream Boss streak. Okay, the Undertaker. The WrestleMania streak, it's being broken by interference, man. Disqualified. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we won't make that official. We'll it doesn't count, it's not going to go on your record as a loss. But thank you, Daryl. Appreciate that. Fueling up the thrust bus there. But yeah, so we see Perfuma get tossed in the wife cage here. And just as I was telling you, just like the Gyat Fairy, she's making it grow. All right. She's making it grow. She's able to put flowers everywhere. That's her actual power. She's got the flower power. Okay. Now, come to find out that this is actually, I told you, we were going to find out Hordak's secret weakness. Okay. We were going to find out his weakness. Shira's been fighting him. He's the main villain. Never seems to be able to truly defeat him. Maybe she can fend him off for an episode, but can't truly defeat him. Can't make him beg for mercy. And I'm talking true defeat, not just like, thwarted him for this episode, whatever scheme of the week, the plot, the scheme of the week. She thwarts that, but he always lives to fight another day. No, this has him begging for mercy. Okay, check this out.
Oh, there. That's better. All the place needed was a few flowers. Now then. Oh, yes.
She's too powerful, guys. She's too powerful. The flower power. See, I thought Shira was the master of unwrangling. And I think she still is, because we've seen her unwrangle herself multiple times, numerous times, right? But Perfuma here coming right out the gate, just using her flower power, and it opens the wife cage right up. But she doesn't stop there. She doesn't stop there. Like I said, this is Hordak's ultimate weakness. She's going to have him begging for mercy. And then some. Watch this.
We definitely need some flowers here.
What in the name of evil is going on here?
La da 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 la 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 la.
She's got the robots dancing, the ARC troopers. Oh no! What? Look at Hordak just watching in like disbelief. He's mesmerized. He's just like, what the hell is going on? What is this? I've never fought a foe so strong, so terrifying. He thought Shira was bad. Yeah, it's hippie power, flower power, that hippie power.
Hello there, Hordakins.
She calls me Hordakins?
And
oh no, and she's giving him cutesy nicknames. Oh, it gets even worse. It's not, you thought the flower power was all? That was it? That was her only power? No. She's got cuteness overload. She's giving him cute nicknames. Hordakins? What?
Doesn't the place look so much nicer now? I always say there's nothing like a few flowers. Don't you think so, Hordakins?
Flowers!
Why?
He's losing it, guys. He's going mental right now. He can't stand it. She put the flowers on him. He's literally blowing his top. Steam's coming out of his ears. He's losing his mind. He's faced Shira dozens of times. Okay, he's had to use the cannon arm. He's turned himself into a rocket. She's destroyed his tanks, destroyed his battleships. Countless numbers of ARC troopers, right? But put the flowers in his secret hidden layer, you know, that abysmal layer there. It's so dark and dreary. She starts sprucing up the place with some flowers, gives him one of those, what is it, like the Hawaiian lei, you know, puts the lei necklace on there, and he's ready. He's just ready to turn in. You know, he's ready to just give up completely.
This whole place is just so dreary and dismal, I can't believe it. But nothing that a few flowers won't fix. Bye-bye, Hordakins. I've got lots of work to do.
And she's trolling him too. You know, like, listen to the way she talks. She's completely trolling him. She's like, oh yeah, you know, it's so dark and dreary. Nothing a few flowers can't take there, Hordakins. Like, she sounds evil when she says it. Oh, let's go, Reaver 154, rocking out with the X-Men.
What was she growing in those flowers? It looks like she's growing nose crack with her powers, and she's been snorting some of her nose candy herself.
They are, man. They're Zook plants. They're Zook plants. She's totally trolling him, too. She sounds more evil than he does.
But nothing that a few flowers won't fix.
You hear that? Nothing a few flowers won't fix. I mean, she sounds evil as hell, man. She's out-eviling Hordak, okay? This is what I mean. This is his hidden weakness, his secret weakness. And you're going to see it's not even over yet. You're going to see he's more felted than you could imagine, all right? Just wait for it. Just wait for it.
Bye-bye, Hordakins. I've got lots of work to do.
Flowers! Flowers! Flowers!
I told you. It wasn't even over yet. You thought he was already felted with the steam coming out of his ears. No, he's losing his absolute mind. Transforms his head into a hammer just so he can beat it against a rock. He's trying to knock himself unconscious. This is what I'm talking about, okay? Overwhelming feltening. That's right. Feltality. Okay? Feltality. He's trying to knock himself unconscious from this. He cannot stand the flower power. She's giving him cutesy nicknames. She's got this underlying evil tone to her voice, trying to act all innocent, but she's like, I got work to do. Gonna put some more flowers out there for you, Hordakins. And he's like, kill me now. Make it end. Make the suffering end. She's just like wandering around, putting flowers on the base like, suffer, Hordakins. I gotta see that again. Suffer, Hordakins. Suffer. Oh man. So yeah, she's got him in the palm of her hand, man. Like She-Ra has never delivered such punishment as Perfuma has to Hordakins. Okay, we're just gonna call him Hordakins from now on. Look at him. Look at his face. He's just like, why won't you leave? Please get out. And she knows. Look at her, man. She looks evil. See what I mean? Look at that. Look at that look she's giving him there. She's just like, yeah, you know, I am your greatest villain, your greatest foe, your all arch nemesis rival here. But it doesn't stop there. Oh, do you think that was it? You think that was it? Just a few flowers, making him bang his head against the rock? That was all the punishment she was going to deliver? Well, we already saw that she's got this weird hippie flower power, you know, these Zook flowers. Got the ARC troopers under her spell. She was dancing with one of them. And Hordak, he hates the dancing too. So she's going to enslave his whole army. She's going to enslave the whole army here. Look. He's in the utter doldrums of depression. Oh, super felted, ultra felted combo right here. Okay, he couldn't knock himself senseless. He tried, and now he's just wallowing in defeat. His whole army has been taken over by the hippie flower power. They're all dancing in a conga line, and all Hordak can do, all Hordakins can do is just wallow in agony.
No!
That's right. Suffer, Hordakins. Suffer. Oh, shit. It's so bad. I told you guys. This is his new arch nemesis. The greatest weakness has been discovered. All it takes is little flowers and some dancing, and it's so over. It's so over. But wait, one last feltoning is delivered, okay? You thought that was the end, okay? You thought that was the end. Oh, no. One more feltoning is being delivered here.
And I thought I was joking about the nose crank. I was wrong. So wrong.
That's right. Oh, where's the pop-up? Is the sound even gonna go off?
Well, excuse me, princess.
Princess Waifu caught jungle. T-Bone got her in his bind. T-Bone used glare. T-Bone used rap. Princess can't move. T-Bone wrangle time.
Wrangle time!
After a few drinks, Hordak took her to his place. Then came the next day regret.
Yeah, he's doing the walk of shame. But no, look, the feltoning is not over yet. And thank you, Painting and Rambling, and T-Bone, by the way. But no, the feltoning is not over yet. So she took over his army. She redecorated his base, driving him absolutely mental. He's suffering, okay? Suffer, Hordakins. But no, she has to embarrass him. She has to add insult to injury and deliver one last humiliation because She-Ra shows up. You know, remember the show, even though Perfuma's basically taking it down single-handedly, okay? The show is still She-Ra, Princess of Power, so she does have to show up to, quote-unquote, save the day, even though I think Hordak's the one who needs saving. But she's going to deliver, Perfuma that is going to deliver one last feltoning, one last humiliation for the road, all right? Check this out.
She is completely unharmed. Now get her out of here.
I love how Hordak's just like, please take her away. I haven't harmed her at all. In fact, she's done more damage than I ever could. Will you please just take her and leave? I won't even put up a fight. Just go. Just go. And look at the grin on her face too. Like She-Ra's always kind of smiling. You know, she's always like keeping that cheerful predisposition, right? But Perfuma here, she's got the evil grin. She's like, oh, you want me to leave? You want me to go? Really? Well, hold on. I'm not done yet.
But I don't want to go, She-Ra.
I'm telling you, she's the true villain, okay? She's the true villain. No, don't want to go. He wants me to go? I don't think so. I think I'm going to stick around.
I like it here. We were having fun, weren't we, Hordak?
Oh no, she called him Hordakins in front of She-Ra.
Weren't we, Hordakins?
Hordakins?
Thank you for that. Never dropping that, by the way.
Oh, it's so over. It's so over for Hordakins. She-Ra heard the nickname. Now she's always going to call him Hordakins from now on. He's never going to be able to face her again. It's so over.
She is completely unharmed. Now get her out of here.
Booga, booga, booga!
Perfuma, more like has hurricanes, buzzsaws, cannons, and bombs, and he's taken out by flower power. Smiley face emoji.
Thank you, Michael Russum, for the ticket to ride on the Booga train. Yeah, she Stinkor. Yeah, man, she's delivered an epic feltoning to Hordak, to Hordakins here.
Don't want to go, She-Ra. I like it here. We were having fun, weren't we, Hordakins?
Hordakins?
Thank you for that. Never dropping that, by the way.
He's never living it down. Suffer, Hordakins. Suffer. Oh, man, it's so over. It's so over for Hordakins, man. You almost feel bad for him. You almost feel bad for the guy. I never thought I'd see the day, you know, like the old school 80s villains. They're usually pretty cheesy. Some are more evil than others, like Mum-Ra was actually pretty sinister. Megatron had his moments. Cobra Commander kind of goofy. Skeletor and Hordak definitely goofy. Never thought I'd see the day where I felt bad for them, though. You know, never thought I'd feel bad for him. But oh man, Hordakins, he wants it to be over. He wants the show to be canceled. You know, just end it. End my misery, please. Poor Hordakins, man, delivers that epic feltoning. So yeah, that's the first half of the lineup there, sci-fi themed. We will go into some other shows. I'm going to keep a couple of them a surprise because, like I said, we got a lot of new stuff from channel surfing. And so you guys will know what it is as soon as you see the opening theme. If you were watching channel surfing, that is, you'll definitely recognize it. But we'll keep that a surprise for Saturday morning. I will let you know one more show that we got in the lineup, another one from the late 80s. Not necessarily sci-fi theme. This one just kind of stands out on its own. But I couldn't help it, you know. We've been talking about it. Some of the Baconeers in the Discord were talking about these particular episodes. So why not get an oldie but a goodie, Princess Toadstool. This is a pretty underrated waifu here on the station. I mean, she's a popular waifu overall, but we haven't played that many episodes of Super Mario. Normally, I play Captain N, the Game Master, because, hey, Princess Lana, right? But the Baconeers were talking about a couple of episodes in particular of Super Mario Brothers 3, or I guess it's the Adventures of Super Mario Brothers, but it's all based on Super Mario Brothers 3, so that's what I call it. And we have here Princess Toadstool sporting a shirt from her favorite group, her favorite musical group, Milli Vanilli. Oh no. I think this was before the whole lip syncing thing was revealed, right? So yeah, she's rocking the Milli Vanilli shirt, and they actually do show up in the episode as well. So yeah, we've got the Milli Vanilli episode of Mario Brothers 3. Princess Toadstool, she's hyped. She's ready to go to the concert, all right? I don't know, is she wanting to be a groupie? I don't know. But yeah, girl, you know it's true. There you go, Master Godai. Girl, you know it's true. That's right. She's rocking the Milli Vanilli shirt. So we've got this episode of Super Mario Brothers 3. And I didn't even realize this is also kind of a running theme that a lot of these shows have the shorter episodes. Teen Force does it. Jason of Star Command does it. And Mario Brothers 3 does it as well, where the episodes are only about 10 minutes long. So you actually need 2 of them to make a full episode. So the second one, we're getting ready for summer, okay? We're getting ready for summer. We got another one where Princess Toadstool's ready to go to the beach, ready for the summertime heat. Let's go, T-Bone Tony with a visit from the Gyat Fairy, the real one.
Gyat Fairy, in T-Bone's jungle outfit attire. T-Bone used glare, Fairy used apple zook. This jungle wrangle battle is fire.
Let's go. Thank you, T-Bone Tony, with more lyrics there, too, man. Speaking of Milli Vanilli, I hope you don't lip sync yours, though. All right? I hope you're not lip syncing like Milli Vanilli. But yeah, we've got Princess Toadstool ready for the summer heat, another beach episode, as well as another wrangle technique, okay? This time by a chomp. Weren't those things called chomps or chompers? Somebody in the chat probably knows the technical. I think they were called chomps. But yeah, it's kind of old school, just the chain wrangle, but this one happens to be alive, so I guess we'll count it as a new wrangle technique. But yeah, she's getting wrangled and tangled there. Chain chomp. That's what, yeah, chain chomp there. Getting wrangled and tangled, all right? So yeah, we've got the Milli Vanilli episode as well as a beach episode appropriate for the coming summer months here, and a new wrangle technique with the chain chomp wrangling Princess Toadstool there. So that's your Saturday morning preview for tomorrow morning, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a full 3-hour block from 9 to noon Eastern Standard Time. And I've only shown you a handful of the shows. Like I said, I like to keep a few surprises in there. And every show, with the exception of Mario Brothers and She-Ra, those are the only 2 that we've seen in previous lineups. Every other show is going to be brand new. I gave you some previews there with Teen Force and Jason of Star Command, but the other couple of shows are brand new to the channel. You might have seen them on channel surfing. I mean, you know, if you were there. If you were there, you definitely saw them on channel surfing. But if not, then they're going to be very brand new to you because they were brand new to me. I had never even heard of these shows before channel surfing, which is one of my favorite parts of channel surfing, is you guys bring some stuff that I'd either completely forgotten about or never even heard of before. And luckily, most of the stuff, it got past the copyright block. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that going forward, and tomorrow is no exception. So yeah, She-Ra and Mario Brothers here are the only two that have been featured in a lineup before. Otherwise, lots of new stuff tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully I'll see you guys there, 9 a.m. Eastern, full 3-hour block, 9 to noon. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So that's your Saturday morning preview. Now, for Saturday night anime, we're doing a little bit different. A lot of you guys probably think, okay, it's just going to be more Sonic Soldier Borgman. And you're not wrong. Okay. You're not wrong. You wouldn't be wrong. We are going to continue Sonic Soldier Borgman because it's Borgin time. All right. It's Borgin time. We got to continue this show. We've been having a lot of fun with it. It's late 80s, I believe 1988. So it's got that classic animation style, lots of strobe effects, you know, when they're transforming and things like that. But it's just overall, it's a really fun show. I've been enjoying it. You know, like the villains are cool. They're these weird like space demon type villains. Feels a little bit like Power Rangers mixed in with some RoboCop elements, you know. So good times here. We are going to continue this, but unlike last week, where the full volume, I think it was 6 episodes of Borgman, okay? Instead of the full volume, we're actually going to split it up. Just like I did with the first time that we started this show, and we split it up with Demon of Steel. And that's sort of what I like to do with Anime Grindhouse, okay? You guys, if you're familiar with Anime Grindhouse, most of the time, not always, but most of the time, we split it up between 2 or 3 shows. That way you get a nice sampling in that 2-hour block, right? So we're going to do 3 episodes of Sonic Soldier. I can't even say it. It's Borgin time, okay? We're going to do 3 episodes of Borgin time here with Borgman, and then we're actually going to start on something new, all right? We're going to start on something new in the second half of the Anime Grindhouse, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this one. Now, Borgman is in Japanese. I don't know that an English dub even exists for it because I've only been able to find it in Japanese. But for those of you that prefer English dubs, not just for the cheesy charm of these classic English dubs. I mean, back in the day, we used to kind of shit on them because it's like, oh, the acting's bad, whatever. But now we appreciate it, right? We appreciate the cheesiness. It has its own certain charm to it of the bad English dubs. And this next one is no exception. So we will have Borgman in Japanese. And then this next show will be in English. And we're going to start it out, the first 3 episodes, okay? We're going to start it out. And if you guys like it, we'll continue it on in future volumes. But we're going with Saber Marionette J. All right. This one has been recommended once or twice. I don't know how many people are familiar with this one. And as you can see, it's kind of right up the Baconeers alley. All right. Right up the Baconeers alley, because it's like this one guy. He's basically a Baconeer. This one Baconeer here, the lone Baconeer. He's got a whole team of waifus here. All right. Got a whole team of waifus. So yeah, we've got Saber Marionette J, including an extra cheesy English dub, all right? So you'll only have to read subtitles for the first half of the Anime Grindhouse, and then the second half will be in English. And just like most Anime Grindhouse, you know, we're splitting it up amongst a couple of shows here. Yeah, English, there you go. Yeah, Richard Hooper's like, I will suffer this dub. Trust me, it'll be worth it. This reminds me of Those Who Hunt Elves, like the animation style, and the humor as well. Reminds me of Those Who Hunt Elves. That was, and Hyper Police too. If you guys remember Hyper Police, these were shows that because I've been doing Saturday Night Anime for a long time. Started it very shortly after the Saturday morning cartoon. So we've been doing Saturday Night Anime for a while. But once I rebranded it to the Anime Grindhouse and started featuring multiple shows, some of the ones that we had right before the rebranding were Those Who Hunt Elves and Hyper Police. And this is kind of like right in that same vein, okay? So hopefully you guys will enjoy this one. Got this past... Yeah, I've already tested it. Daryl Walick. It's all good to go. It's all good to go in English, too. So we are good to go with this one, man. Yeah, so we're going to have Sonic Soldier Borgman for half of it, 3 episodes of that. And then the second half will be Saber Marionette J, 3 episodes of that, okay? So it's going to be a lot of fun. So that'll be tomorrow night, midnight Eastern Standard Time, and that'll be over on Bacon Bits, okay? Orbital Bacon Bits. That's the second channel. So anybody that's new here and doesn't know that we have multiple channels for the Orbital station, be sure that you subscribe to Bacon Bits and turn your notifications on over there, because the Anime Grindhouse takes place pretty much every Saturday, unless something weird happens, because we did have that happen a couple weeks ago. There was a community guideline strike because the Barbarian Queen was a little too much for YouTube, and they gave me a community guideline strike, and I wasn't able to upload for a week. And so Anime Grindhouse was here on the main channel, which is where it started. You know, in fairness, that is where it started. A lot of people still ask me, well, not a lot, but some people still ask me to this day, like, hey, what happened to Anime Grindhouse? Well, it's been going on this whole time, but it's over on the second channel. So make sure you're subscribed over there on Orbital Bacon Bits. You get the Anime Grindhouse over there, as well as every Friday night, we do a watch party over there with a live action show. And we're going to have another round of Space Precinct there tonight. So let's get into the news and updates. All right, actually, I'm kind of excited to get into this one because we got some cool stuff for you for the news and updates. The past few weeks have been kind of slow, not a whole lot going on. Not necessarily a bad thing, because a few weeks ago, one of the news and updates was what I was just talking about, where the second channel got that community strike and we couldn't upload anything, you know? So sometimes no news is good news, you know what I mean? But we've got some really cool news this week. I'm actually really excited to get into this. One in particular is the reason that's got me excited to talk about it. But yeah, we've got some cool stuff to discuss this week for news and updates. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Now, first up, if you saw Monday's community post, I made a post about this already on Monday, but just in case you missed it, here's a quick reminder that this year is the 40th anniversary of Dirty Pair. Okay, this is the 40th anniversary of Dirty Pair, and I have the entire series split between this channel and Bacon Bits, but between the two, we've got the whole series up there for you to watch, including the movies, including the OVAs. It's all there. So I created a playlist in honor of the 40th anniversary. I made its own separate playlist. I mean, you could already access the whole series through the Anime Grindhouse playlist. Like I said, it's half of it's on this channel, the other half is on Bacon Bits. And you know, a lot of you guys, because this was a really popular series. I mean, I've got pop-ups with Yuri, pop-ups with Kay. You guys already know these are top waifus here on the Orbital station. So many of you might have already seen it, but hey, if you want to watch it again, I mean, these are waifus so nice, you got to wrangle them twice, right? So if you want to watch through it again to make it extra convenient so you can just watch it straight through, I put a playlist together featuring all the movies, the OVAs, and the series, both the OVA and the TV series, all in one playlist. The only thing you might have to skip around is because some of the TV series, and I think some of the OVAs as well, were put together in the Anime Grindhouse, so there's other anime with them. But hey, that's just extra goodness, because the anime they were paired with were things like Dragon's Heaven, which is awesome. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out. Plastic Little, which is stacked and packed with waifus, yams out. It's actually pretty crazy. Surprised that one like got by, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's paired with stuff that is a lot of fun to watch. I think Wannabes is in there, which is like a wrestling. It's like a magical elf girl that's a wrestler. It's kind of weird. It's like sci-fi wrestling, kind of weird, but in a good way. So yeah, it's worth checking out. It's worth checking out. But a lot of them are self-contained. So you've got Project Eden, which is the movie, self-contained in its own video. You've got the OVAs, Flight 205 or 005, and the something conspiracy. I don't even remember the name of the OVAs, but those are self-contained. Then you have the OVA series, which I actually found the English dub for, and a lot of people were like, "What? Where did you find the English dub?" I had to go find old VHSs that had the English dub, rip those, and then resync the audio to the Blu-ray recording, because you know the Blu-ray is all like HD, upscaled, all that good stuff. So the OVAs, they look crystal clear, but they've got the old English dub. Now, unfortunately, 5 episodes, because the OVA series, there's 2 like OVAs that are like miniature movies. Those are in English. Those are fine. But the OVA series, which was 10 episodes long, for whatever reason, 5 episodes, and it's not even like it's the first 5. It's like episode 1, 3, 6, and 7 or something. You know, it's like weird. They just picked 5 of the episodes randomly to block them. And I don't understand why. People ask me why. I have no idea. Okay. But the other 5 got through they're up there. So the only thing that's missing from this playlist is half of the OVA series, and that's only because it gets blocked. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Now, if you're a channel member, if you got a blue wrench next to your name and you're supporting the Orbital station over on Coffee, then you have access to the video archives, which has all 10, okay? So I do have all 10 OVA episodes, and they are on the video archive for channel members, but unfortunately, 5 of them get blocked here on YouTube. So if you're watching through the playlist and you're like, hey, wait a minute, I thought the OVA series was 10 episodes, I can only find 5 in this playlist, that's because the other 5 get blocked. YouTube is a crazy place. That's right, T-Bone. YouTube is a crazy place. But the OVA is in English, which is harder to find. And then the TV series never got an English dub. There's not even one to dig up. You know, in fact, I think they were trying to do some sort of crowdfunding thing to get the original TV series dubbed in English. I don't know how that went, if it's still in the works or not, but there's no English dub for the TV series. So the TV series is in Japanese with English subtitles. The rest of it is in English. And I think, and if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong if you've watched through it, but I also made sure that because some of the dubs have been redone, you know, like Streamline, I think was the old studio, and then ADV, was it ADV or Funimation? One of them redid it with more modern voice actors, like Monica Rial is in there. Not a big fan. So I actually went through and made sure that I got the old Streamline dubs for all the English dubs. So I had to do the same thing to Project Eden. Got the upscale Blu-ray visual, but then resynced it to the old Streamline English dub. And that's what the OVA is as well. And the two like mini movie OVAs, those are also the old Streamline dubs. So you get the same English voice actresses voicing Kei and Yuri throughout the whole thing, and then you get the TV series in Japanese. So that playlist is here on the main channel. You can actually find it in the playlist section right here on the main channel if you want to watch through and celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Lovely Angels, aka Dirty Pair. That playlist is there for you guys, so I hope you enjoy it, all right? So that's the first little bit of news. Just wanted to shout out because we love Kei and Yuri. They are like top waifus, especially from the anime side of things. They are top waifus here on the Orbital station. So you know we got to give them some love. 40th anniversary. It's awesome. All right. Now, next up, this is the one I'm excited to talk about. I mean, I'm excited to talk about all this because I love Dirty Pair too. But this was like really cool, unexpected, came about from channel surfing. So if you guys were here Wednesday for channel surfing, the theme was classic cartoons and animation. And we were going through a whole bunch of stuff, some really cool stuff that you guys sent in. I mean, like really cool stuff that you guys sent in that featured cartoons from like the 80s, 90s, whatever decade it might have been. And a lot of stuff that I had never seen before, this being one of them, which was Zorro Generation Z. And I don't mean Zoomer. I'm not trying to say Zorro's a Zoomer, but Zorro actually got one of those futuristic remakes, much like Batman Beyond and Phantom 2040, where there was another one, Sherlock Holmes of the 22nd century. So there's been quite a few of these futuristic remakes, and some of them I had never even heard about. This being one of them, Zorro Generation Z. So we were watching I think it was just the intro. I don't think we saw any clips from the show, but we saw the opening theme song from the show, which was pretty good. And it was pretty funny too, because as you can see in this screenshot here, Zorro's got a lightsaber, he's got a laser whip, he's got a motorcycle instead of a horse. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Prince of the Abyss, was that you that sent this one in? Was that you, Prince of the Abyss? Well, then you're gonna love what I have to say, okay? This news that I have here. So check this out. You guys know that a lot of times after channel surfing, and sometimes even during channel surfing, we have to deal with copyright issues. Usually the stream doesn't get interrupted unless I just let the clips play for too long without talking over them, because then YouTube thinks that I'm just playing the whole movie or playing the whole show, right? But as long as we pause the clips, I talk over it, it's fair use, right? It's commentary, it's relevant to the discussion. It totally falls within the purviews of fair use. And especially when you're just doing the intros, like the opening theme songs to stuff, because a lot of times even companies like Disney and Warner Brothers will let you have the intro, like the opening credits, the end credits. I don't know if opening credits is the right word, but end credits and opening theme songs. You'll see a lot of channels that have just those uploaded. You just can't have the episode itself, right? And then even if the stream doesn't get interrupted during it, a lot of times after it's over and YouTube goes through and actually itemizes, goes line by line and says, okay, here's all the things that you're getting hit for copyright. And not that it necessarily gives me a strike or anything, but sometimes it'll block the stream because if the company that owns it, like Disney or Warner Brothers, even if it's just an intro or something that we were talking over, commentating over, whatever, they'll block it. They'll go, oh, nope, this is our stuff. You can't view it, right? Luckily, this one didn't get blocked visually or globally or anything like that, but there were plenty of claims. And what happens is when the studio or the company that gets the claim, they get notified. They said, hey, this guy's got your stuff on the channel. We're going to give you the ad revenue if there is any. And otherwise, we're just going to let it stand as is. And it's up to them if they want to say, oh, no, block it or take it down or whatever. And most of the time, especially if it's already in YouTube's system, because they put it there, they have to submit their content to YouTube to get automatically claimed. And they'll tell YouTube when they do that to block it or whatever, take it down or whatever. It usually has to be somebody manually goes in and strikes it down. And that's if they don't already have it in the system and they're trying to keep it from getting out on YouTube because they haven't taken the time or maybe they don't know how to put it in YouTube system. Well, this show was in YouTube system, so it didn't get me in any sort of trouble. But when it notified the owners, though, the craziest thing happened. All right, the craziest thing happened. I got an email the next morning from ABZ Entertainment, which is the company that owns Zorro Generation Z. And the guy, it was like the opposite of what normally happens. You guys that have been around for a long time, you moldy oldie bacon ears, right? You guys remember the Lasso saga. You remember the Discotheque saga, where we've tangoed with some of these studios before, where they want to try to manually strike stuff down, even when it was part of a live stream that falls under fair use. That's what happened with the Lasso. That's why I call it the Lasso saga, because they were blocking full episodes, which is fine, but they even tried striking down one of my streams when I was just playing a brief clip, not even a minute long. I was pausing it, I was talking over it, and I actually had to fight back and tell YouTube, hey, this is fair use, okay? Like, I'm allowed to use this under fair use, and they sided with me, and they took back the strike. But you guys remember there was that brief time, I think it was like a 2-week period, where the channel was gone, and people were like, oh, what's going on, man? And, I think that's why I made the second channel in the first place. So you guys remember the Lasso saga. A similar thing happened with Discotheque, although it wasn't so much the live stream. It was Riding Bean and Gunsmith Cats. And I had those as part of the Anime Grindhouse, and Bubblegum Crisis. How could I forget? There's also Bubblegum Crisis, yeah. And they struck those down. And I tried talking to the guy. He actually answered my email, the guy who runs Discotheque, and we had a back and forth. And he is not a fan of me, okay? If you guys remember that saga, we talked about that, the emails we had back and forth, and he's no fan of mine, okay? He viewed me as competition, in fact. He said that me doing the Anime Grindhouse was actually taking away from his DVD sales, which I tried to tell him it's the opposite. I see people in the chat all the time telling me that after they've seen a show or an anime on my channel, that they want to go purchase the Blu-ray or purchase the DVD so that they own it in their collection and have the best copy of it. Because I don't always have the best copies. Sometimes you got to find stuff and it doesn't look that great, whatever. And yeah, I've probably helped sell DVDs and Blu-rays, not just for Discotheque, but for a lot of these companies. I mean, who knows how many old cartoons that normally people wouldn't even know about, and they see them on the channel and they go, oh man, I never knew this show existed. I want to go buy the DVD. Or even if they did already know it, it kind of reminds them and they're like, man, that was so much fun watching. I want this in my collection. And so I tried to tell him that, and he was just not having it. So that's normally, unfortunately, that's like how it normally goes.
Amazon waifu in T-Bone's jungle, escapes from Green Apple Zook car. T-Bone sees waifu and starts his hypnosis, coils around Amazon waifu's BOOGA.
BOOGA. Thank you, T-Bone Tony. So yeah, unfortunately, that's like how it normally goes, right? Well, this time it was the opposite. So I got an email the next morning from the manager of ABZ Entertainment, which owns Zorro Generation Z, among some other shows. I don't know their full catalog because I wasn't even familiar with this particular show. And he emailed me and he said, hey, about the copyright claim on your channel for that clip of Zorro. And I was like, oh, buddy, because that was like the subject line. It was like about the copyright, you know? And I'm like, oh, no, here we go. We're about to have another saga. We're about to start into another saga. Please, no, right? But no, I open up the email, I read it, and it was like the exact opposite. He says, hey, no hard feelings about that copyright claim. In fact, we've already lifted the claim. I didn't even get a strike or anything, but he was lifting the claim. Like, he was like, I'm not even going to take the ad revenue from it. Not only that, but I watch your channel. I've actually been following your content for a while. I watch the live streams, and I'm a big fan of the way that you interact with the audience and engage in these old shows. You know, like, just like I talk about at the beginning of Sterner Stuff, I always say that we're making up the latest and greatest memes for these decades old shows, right? And so he was like, yeah, I'm actually a big fan of how you engage with your audience and interact with these old shows and, you know, kind of bring new life to them, right? Yeah, he's one of us. He's a homie. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Cool Spot and Project Redfoot. He's a homie. He's one of us. He's a fucking baconeer. Okay. And so he was like, he was telling me like, no hard feelings about the copyright claim. We've lifted the dispute on our end, so it should come off your channel. And then he goes on to say that he asked me, he said, would you be interested in working together on something down the line? You know, let me know and we'll do a call or something. And I already responded to, I was like, right away, I responded and I said, I would definitely, first of all, I thanked him. I'm like, man, thank you for reaching out. I'm so glad you enjoy the content. Like, that's so awesome of you. And I would definitely be interested in working together. Like, whatever you have in mind, just let me know. That would be really cool to work together. He might give me permission to use these shows. The fact that he lifted the claim on the Zorro clips, he might say, hey, play whatever episodes you want. I don't even know what other shows they have, because he mentioned that they have a lot of other shows in their catalog, but he didn't like list them out. He just mentioned Zorro because that was the clip that I played. But they apparently they have a whole catalog of shows, probably some other hidden gems out there that some of us might not even know about, right? And so he says, yeah, if you'd be interested in working together, you know, let me know and we'll get on a call. We'll schedule a call and see what we can do. And I'm like, hell yeah, man. So I let him know that I would definitely be interested in working together. We're going to schedule a call pretty soon. I don't know. We haven't had the call yet, so I don't know exactly all the details. I wish I had more details to give you right now, but I couldn't, you know, I'm like, man, I'm not going to wait till next Friday to talk about this in the news. I got to tell you guys, because I was like, this is awesome, right? Yeah, he sounds really cool. He's the manager of the company too. So it's not like it's just some rando. Like, this guy can actually give me permission to use their shows, to show them in the Saturday morning lineup, to show them on streams, whatever it may be. And who knows, maybe we'll have him on as a guest. You know, if he's worked on some of the shows, he might make a cool interview. I have no idea. You know, it's still in the works. But I just, like I said, I couldn't wait till next Friday to give you more details. I had to go ahead and talk about it because I just thought it was really cool that Prince of the Abyss, shout out Prince of the Abyss, who sent in the Zorro Generation Z clip, that ended up leading to the discovery of a new baconeer, one of us. You know, he was one of us all along, had no idea. And yeah, who knows what's coming down the line, but we might have some new shows that we don't even have to worry about any copyright. He's going to give me the full green light, you know? I don't know. Could be. Who knows? So, holy shit, Ron with Chaos is zooking out. Let's go.
I am zooking out. Hail bacon. Hail the baconeers.
Let's go. Thank you, Ron McChaos. Zooking out. Dude, I'm zooking out too.
No, man, he's just zooking out. He'll be okay.
I'm zooking out too, man. Yeah, it's really cool. It's just like when we had the creator of Earthworm Jim, Doug TenNapel, on as a special guest. Unfortunately, he's not able to give us permission to use Earthworm Jim.
The big boss of ABZ is a fellow baconeer, but he also gave you a lucky break and cut you some slack in regards to such copyright. Gotta tip all our baconeer hats to him.
Exactly, Duo Maxwell. That's what I'm saying. Like, I felt like this was already newsworthy, even though we're still working out the details. I'm like, I still got to talk about it because I thought that was so cool of him to reach out and say, yeah, you know what? YouTube automatically put the copyright claim. We're going to lift that because I actually watch your stuff. I think it's really cool. I like what you're doing with the Baconeers, with the community. I told you guys, you're the best community on YouTube, all right? Because it's not just me. This victory is not just mine. It's all of ours, all right? Because like if I was just doing this by myself, he probably wouldn't have really noticed. But it's the fact that he sees how cool you guys are, the Baconeers, what a great community we have here, the way that we enjoy these old shows and breathe new life into them, right? And he recognized that. So this is a victory for all of us, okay? He's one of us. He's a fellow Baconeer, and this is a victory for all of us. So yeah, that's why I'm like, man, I got to tell these guys about it. I'm zooking out, man. I'm really excited. And I'll let you guys know, of course, next week if there's an update. I will definitely let you know what we got coming up. Expect to see, not tomorrow, because I'm going to wait and hear back from him, when we do the call and everything. But probably next week, we'll probably see an episode of Zorro Generation Z and maybe some other shows that they have in their catalog. I got to look it up. I got to do like a Google search and see what else they have in the catalog, man. It might be some really cool stuff in there. So, yeah, I thought that was awesome. Thank you, Prince of the Abyss, for sending this clip in. Really cool to discover that the manager of ABZ is a Baconeer. He's one of us. It's not a new saga. I was so weird when I saw the title of the email. I was like, oh man, we're a new saga. No, man, it's quite the opposite. This is going to be really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. The future is indeed bright here on the Orbital Station. All right. So that's, just had to zook out about that a little bit on the news because I thought that was really cool. So yeah, future watch parties going to be awesome. Speaking of watch parties, so I mentioned earlier that we finished up Pirates of Darkwater. It is a criminally short show. They cut that show short, didn't even have a proper ending. They only found, I think, 7 of the 13 pieces of rule. So give or take halfway through the show, it got canned. And that's really unfortunate. But I got the full series, the 21 episodes that were completed, got them all on DVD. We went through that the past 2 weeks because, 21 episodes doesn't take long to get through it, right? So we already finished Pirates of the Darkwater. So on Thursday, last night, we started our new journey on our next criminally short show that got cut early. Kind of a running theme here, right? With Thundercats of 2011, all right? Thundercats! Thunder! Ho! Let's go! We had Thundercats from 2011. Of course, we see here top waifu Chitara, 2011 Chitara or 80s Chitara. That is a tough choice. I normally I would side with the original, 80s, the original usually better, but I don't know, guys. I think 2011 Chitara has my vote, okay? I don't know. Call me crazy. Is anybody with me on that one? I mean, look, 80s Chitara is no slouch. We still love her too. But 2011, I think she's got my vote, okay? I think she's the top waifu, the top version between the two, okay? Definitely the top waifu of the show, but even between that and the 80s, I think 2011, yeah, one's up for 2011 Chitara. I think she's it, okay? I think she's it. So we just started that show. We watched the first 4 episodes. I believe there are 25 total, if I remember correctly. There were only 21 of Pirates of Darkwater, and that's what I mean. This one is just as criminally cut short like Pirates of Darkwater was. Hopefully we get more of an ending. The last 2 episodes are a 2-parter, so it seems like there was some sort of saga, like maybe they knew it was coming to a close, whereas Pirates of Darkwater, just abrupt ending. Like the last episode is kind of one of those self-contained, villain of the week with those Amazons. So hopefully we get a little bit more closure to this one, but we'll have to find out in a couple weeks because we're going to go through this about just as fast. 4 episodes. I think we'll do 4 episodes a night because that's what's on a disc. We were doing 5 episodes a night of Pirates of Darkwater also because that's what was on a disc. So I was just letting the full disc play, right? On Thundercats, it's 4 episodes per disc. So I'm just going to let each disc play per night. So it might take us a little bit longer to get through this one. Plus it has a few extra episodes, 21 for Pirates, 25 for Thundercats. So it might take us, maybe like an extra day or 2 to get through this one. But we started it last night, the first 4 episodes. So if you missed out, don't worry, you're not too far behind. And make sure you're in the Discord if you want to join us for these watch parties. Now, I did update because people were letting me know. I had no idea. People were letting me know, hey, the link's not working. So the link in the description will get you into the Discord. So if you want to join us for the OBTV watch parties and check out the rest of Thundercats 2011, we're only 4 episodes in. Be sure to join, and it's every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? So every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern is when we'll be watching Thundercats, all right? And this will be for like the next couple weeks because we just started. We've got 21 more episodes to go, all right? So Thundercats 2011 with, in my opinion, the better Chitara. I mean, both Chitaras are smoking hot, but I think this one's the better one, all right? So that's what's coming up for watch parties as well. One more little bit of watch party news. I already mentioned it, and most of you guys know if you were here last week, but we got Space Precinct 2040. This is what we're watching tonight over on Orbital Bacon Bits. So I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the Anime Grindhouse being over on the second channel, the other things that you get in addition to the Anime Grindhouse over there is a bunch of live action Zook, okay? We've got Lex, we've got Black Scorpion, the first season of Forever Knight, Adventures of Sinbad, Conan the Adventurer, Space Rangers, and now Space Precinct 2040, okay? So a whole lot of live action Zook and a bunch of movies too. I didn't even mention there's a whole bunch of movies over there too. Like, did you guys know there was a Vampirella live action movie from the 90s? Okay, I bet a lot of you didn't even know that. I certainly didn't until recently.
Poor Thundercats 2011. The cats were playing D&D while the lizards were playing Titanfall.
That's a pretty accurate description, but you know what? The lizards are still getting felted though. But thank you, Maverick, ticket to ride on the Booga train there. But yeah, so we've got a bunch of movies over there, like the Vampirella live action movie from the 90s, where Katana from Mortal Kombat, I'm sure you guys have seen the Mortal Kombat movies from the 90s. Katana, that same actress, plays Vampirella. That's over there. Santa's Sleigh, where Goldberg plays an evil Santa. That one's over there. Return of the Killer Tomatoes, where we see the live action adaptation of Tara, one of our top waifus here on the station. That one's over there as well. So if you enjoy live action jank and zooked out shows and movies, in addition to the Anime Grindhouse, then definitely make sure you're subscribed to the second channel, Bacon Bits. And tonight, as we do every Friday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time, we do a watch party of a live action show. The movies are a little more sporadic. They don't take place the same time every week. They're kind of like, you know, whenever. But every Friday, we definitely watch a show every Friday. We just finished Space Rangers recently, and now we're doing Space Precinct 2040. I believe there's 2 seasons of this show. If that's the case, then I have the whole thing because I have 2 seasons of it. So hopefully that's the whole thing. And we just started it last week with the first 2 episodes. We're doing episode 3 and 4 tonight. The episodes are just shy of 45 minutes each, so it's about an hour and a half because we don't want to keep you up too late. Most of us like to get up early for Saturday morning cartoons tomorrow morning. So it starts at midnight, goes for about an hour and a half. That way you can still get 6 hours of sleep or so before Saturday morning cartoons. So if you guys are in the mood for some live action jank, this time sci-fi flavored, because we've had some medieval type stuff, you know, the high adventure with Sinbad and Conan. We've had sci-fi before. We've even had superhero stuff with Black Scorpion and vampire stuff with Forever Knight. But we're doing sci-fi flavor. So if you're in the mood for some sci-fi flavored jank, some live action Zook, that's going to be starting in a little over an hour. We got about an hour to go, and then that'll be starting over on the second channel. So hopefully I'll see you guys there for that. Now, time for, oh wait, sorry, almost forgot. One last little bit of news here. Channel surfing. We saw the 2011 Chitara. Here's the 80s Chitara, courtesy of Odacat here. For channel surfing, I almost forgot this. I always announce the theme. The reason it almost slipped my mind is because the theme was so nice this week. It was so nice. We got to do it twice. We're going to do a part 2. Now, I am going to change it a little bit. I am going to add just a little bit of a variety so that way it's not an exact clone of what we did. But we had so much fun. And I don't know about you guys, but I didn't get to all the stuff that I wanted to show. Like after the stream, I was going back and looking at some of the clips that I had gone through because I was trying not to have too many clips at the beginning of channel surfing, because when I do and the first segment goes long, then we're going to have like a 5-hour stream, right? Because you guys, like, the stuff you send in is the vast majority of the runtime of those streams. So I was trying to, get through it pretty quick, and I didn't have a lot of clips. And then I was looking through and I'm like, oh man, but I forgot this one and I forgot that one. So not only were there a lot of other clips that I wanted to show, but I heard from the Baconeers, like Daryl, shouts out Daryl Walick, and a couple other Baconeers were messaging me on Discord, or they were just posting in the cartoon chat of Discord and saying, oh, here's some other stuff that I would have liked to show. So it looks like I wasn't the only one that had a whole bunch of clips that were left on the cutting room floor from Wednesday's channel surfing. So what we're going to do is a part 2 electric boogaloo of the classic cartoon theme. However, I'm going to expand it thanks to T-Bone, all right? T-Bone Tony, who sent us some of those janky puppet clips, right? Which are technically live action, even though they were shows that had cartoons that played during them, but it was like the live action puppet segments. Well, that gave me the idea to, how about we do this? So that it's not just a straight up repeat, we'll add into it that it can be live action shows as well. Now, I don't mean movies and stuff, because then that just goes like crazy. So to keep it on theme, let's keep it to the classic cartoon shows like we did this week, but you can also do live action shows, just like we've got in the lineup for tomorrow morning with Jason of Star Command and how we saw Secret of Isis last week. So if there's a live action show like a Power Rangers or some other type of spinoff like Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, Mystic Knights of Tirnanog, something that was a show, not necessarily a movie, but a show that would have aired at the same time as cartoons. So we know that VR Troopers was a Saturday morning thing. Power Rangers was a Saturday morning thing. They also ended up moving to weekdays. And that would also include like CGI stuff. So like Reboot, Beast Wars. So that way, if it was a show that would have aired at the same time as the cartoons, like part of a Saturday morning block, part of an after school block in the afternoon, but not necessarily animated, so you didn't get to send it in this past Wednesday, then we'll be able to include that for this coming Wednesday. So it still counts with cartoons and animation, but we'll include the live action shows like the Power Ranger type stuff, the janky puppet show stuff that T-Bone sent in, and anything else that might fall into that, like the shows that we've been seeing recently in these Saturday morning lineups, all right? So that way we can have a more variety, but still continue on from this past Wednesday, because like you guys have been saying, and like I found myself, there's a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor. We did a 4.5 hour stream on Wednesday and still didn't get to everything that we wanted to show, you know? So we're going to do, cartoons, classic cartoons, part 2, Electric Boogaloo with live action in there as well. All right. So I think that'll be a lot of fun because there's a lot of good stuff out there. Big Bad Beetleborgs, Masked Rider, Power Rangers, Mystic Knights, all that stuff that I already mentioned. Probably some stuff that I've never heard of, because you guys always bring stuff that I've never heard of. That's one of my favorite parts of channel surfing. So that's going to be the theme for this week. A sort of a continuation with a little bit of a new variety added in there to keep it fresh. All right. So that's what we got. And that'll be Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. Perfect example right there. Chaos Mage. That's actually a really good show too. Masked Rider sucked. Dragon Knight was awesome. All right. So perfect example right there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be a great show. We had so much fun on this past one. I had to do it again. All right. So that's Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Classic Cartoons 2, Electric Boogaloo with live action stuff mixed in. All right. Now it's time. Get your wrangling device of choice ready to go. Whatever your favorite one is, if it's a magic lasso, if it's a net launching tank, if you've got a wrist mounted grappling hook, or maybe you've got your own starship with wrangle beams, wrangle tractor beams in there that'll teleport the waifu right into the wife cage. Whatever you've got, your favorite wrangling device of choice, get it ready to go, because it's time for everybody's favorite segment of the week, the Waifu Roundup, all right? Time to get into the Waifu Roundup. Now, let me check the meter here, see where we're at, and we're going to see how many pinups we've unlocked. Let's go. Let's take it over to the meter. You know those waifus go whack for the stack. Let's see how many we got here. Hit the music. Look at it go. It's off to the races. We're off to the races. That's 1 down. Let's go. 2 down. Here we go. Still off to the races. It's still going. It's still going. 3 down. Holy shit. Let's go. Let's go. Can we hit that 4th one? Oh, man. So close to that 4th one. Almost to Sliver Country. Almost to Sliver Country. About 3/4 of the way there to that 4th meter. Can we hit it? Stand up, be counted. Let's go. So we've got 3 pinups unlocked, very close to getting that 4th one. And as I was saying at the start of the stream, we got a little bit of a theme here for these first few pinups. It's going to be waifu a go-go. We got one of the latest fashion trends, a really popular one, at least in my opinion. I've really been enjoying this, courtesy of Master Krakken, because he's the one who came up with it. So we got to give credit where it's due to Master Krakken for coming up with the sci-fi go-go outfit, sort of inspired by the retro sci-fi stuff, like think Barbarella.
Magnificent! Look at the size of that thing!
Here's my final push.
Let's go, Reverb 154 with that one more push, pushing us right over. There we go. Getting that 4th meter there. Thank you, Reverb 154. We got it. We got it. Filling up that 4th meter there. So we got 4 pinups to get to you here. And I know these first 3, let me see how many, in fact. Is it 3 or 4? Oh, no, okay, yeah. The first 3 are the waifu a go-go theme. And then the 4th one is actually an old school waifu, one that I mentioned earlier, or at least the series. I didn't mention her by name, but I mentioned the series she's from. Oh, let's go, Chester Stevens. Hail. Hail, Chester Stevens. Let's go.
Waifus for the waifu throne, heel hentai.
Man, I don't know. That's never not going to be funny to me. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you, Chester Stevens. Hail, brother. All right. So we've got a little bit there. We're in sliver country of the next meter there. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe we can get a 5th one. We'll see. We'll see. We got time because we're going to go through these first 4 here, and we've got time. Maybe we can fill up a 5th one because I got plenty. I got plenty of pinups for you. All right. So the first 3 here are now a lot of these, or at least 2 of them I know are all-time top waifus. This first one may not be an all-time top waifu, but she certainly is a top waifu here on the Orbital Station. She's got her own memes here, her own catchphrase, makes her super popular. First of the waifu a go-go. And like I was saying, think Barbarella, you know, that sort of retro sci-fi aesthetic, right? We like that here, okay? We like that here. So let's see if you can guess who's that waifu-mon? Who could it be? She may not be an all-time top waifu, but she certainly is a top waifu here on the station. She's got her own memes here, at least one of them. I don't know if she has multiple memes, but she has one. A very prevalent one. It's a catchphrase. That's your hint, okay? Her meme is a catchphrase. That should really give it away. That should really give it away. What could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be now? Frosta, Veronica Mars. Jimmy coming out of left field with that one. Not Frosta. No, not Lady J. No, not April. There we go. Maverick got it. That's right. It's our gasping queen. That is her catchphrase right there. Our gasping queen, Voodoo. So we got Voodoo in a retro sci-fi go-go outfit. Let's go. Our gasping queen. So like I said, may not be an all-time top waifu because Wildcats was viewed largely as just sort of an X-Men ripoff back in the day. Now we appreciate it, though. We love it here on the Orbital Station. I've put all 13 episodes in their own separate volumes, as well as almost all 13 have been featured across various Saturday morning lineups. And like I said, Voodoo, she is a top waifu here. We love Voodoo. She's kind of like a combination of Rogue and Jean Grey because she's got the telekinetic powers, but then her voice is kind of squeaky and scratchy like Rogue's was, in a good way. Squeaky and scratchy sounds bad, but that's sort of like how Rogue's voice was too, but it works. I like it. And of course, her catchphrase, the gasp has become its own meme. Her catchphrase has become its own meme. So courtesy of Master Krakken.
Wowzers. That's all.
I like the way Kitty said it. He had a little spice to that there. Wowzers. You know, almost like he was trying to do the impression. Wowzers. Let's go. I like the way Kitty read that. Thank you, Kenzo's Creations. So yeah, we've got Voodoo here in a retro sci-fi go-go dancer outfit. That is our first waifu up, first pin-up down. We got 1 down, 3 to go, and the meter is almost a quarter of the way full to the next one. Let's see if we can get one more. You guys are going to like it. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. All right, so next one up. So first up, and these first few I think all of these that we've unlocked so far are all from Master Krakken. He's been very busy. And if we can get into those later ones, you'll see Kitty's been busy too.
See the girl. Watch that scene. Dig it, the gasping queen.
See that girl. Watch that scene. Dig it, the gasping queen. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. So yeah. We're having too much fun here, but this is why it's the best community on YouTube, because we have a lot of fun here, man. It's the best time, best way to kick off Friday night. Yeah, so all of these first several pinups, because Master Krakken has been very busy, and if we can get into the a couple, I think it's like maybe that next meter, maybe 1 or 2 more meters, then we'll see that Kitty has been very busy too. And if you know, you know. All right. Next one up. Okay. Now this is an all-time. This is one of the all-time top waifus, not just here on the station, but like all time, spanning all categories. This is an all-time top waifu. Also rocking a retro future go-go outfit. Who could it be now? Who's that waifu-mon? Who's that waifu-mon? Now this one might throw you off just a little bit. Okay, it might throw you off just a little bit with that silhouette there because of the hair. All right, the hair is going to throw you off. April O'Neil, not a bad guess. Not a bad guess. The hair is going to throw you off though, because it's not her normal hairstyle. That's the hint I'm going to give you. Okay, the hint I'm giving you is that this is a hairstyle she only had in one iteration. The rest of the times it was longer. So who could it be? Which waifu, which all-time waifu has normally longer hair, but this time is shorter? Who could it be now? Who could it be? Charlie Girl? No. Diana? No. Tess? No. Tula? No. Scarlet? No. Frosted? No. You got to think, which waifu normally has longer hair, but has in an official iteration, like one of the series that she's in, has this short hair. Also, do you see the sort of sheer top? That should really be a giveaway. That should really be a giveaway there. See that sheer top? Think who had like a sort of that see-through sheer top when she had the same haircut. Because that should be a giveaway. And think all time. Think all time, not just here on the channel, but like all time top waifu. There you go. There you go. Maverick Cat, Tavern's Pool, Daharka 88. There you go. You guys got it. That's right. It's Rogue. Now, of course, this is X-Men Evolution Rogue. That's when she had the short hair. That's when she had the sheer top there. So I knew you guys would get it. I knew you guys would get it. But yeah, we've got Rogue in her retro sci-fi go-go outfit there, courtesy of Master Krakken. A lot of good guesses. A lot of good guesses. I was kind of surprised that it gave you, I thought you guys might get it a little sooner, but you got it. I knew you would. I knew you would. But yeah, a lot of good guesses. But yeah, we've got Rogue, X-Men Evolution, Goth Rogue, okay? More specifically, it's Goth Rogue from X-Men Evolution. And if you recall, that is where she had the shorter hair, the sheer top. So normally her hair is longer, like in the comics, the 90s cartoon, and I think all the cartoons that have come since Evolution, her hair is longer. But in this one, so yeah, it did kind of throw you off. The silhouette did kind of throw you off, but I knew you'd get it. I knew you'd get it. So yeah, courtesy of Master Krakken, we've got Goth Rogue, aka X-Men Evolution Rogue, from the or with the sci-fi retro go-go outfit. Let's go. Let's go. Jester Bell would have gotten that? Yeah? You prefer Goth Rogue? Oh, you mean over the other, okay, yeah, Goth Scarlet. Yeah. Because I was about to say, I like Goth Rogue, but 90s is peak, 90s is peak. But I do like Goth Rogue. So there you go. Go-Go Dancer Rogue. Now we got one more Go-Go Dancer, and this one's probably going to be easy compared to I think this one's going to be easier for you, but let's see. Let's see if you can get it, because it's another short-haired waifu, but I think you guys are going to get this one pretty easily. Who's that waifu? Who could it be now? Got another one. Short hair. Sci-fi go-go outfit. I think you guys are going to get this one. I don't even think I need to give you any hints. You're going to get it. Nimmy says Yuri. Maverick Cat says Natsumi. Maverick Cat sees the future. Wasp, not a bad guess. Wasp is not a bad guess. Charlie Girl, no, Charlie Girl didn't have the short hair. Jubilee's not a bad guess. This is another all-time top waifu. Not just here on the channel. All-time top. All-star. Just like Rogue. So think like that level. She's up there at that level. Maybe even higher. It kind of depends on who you ask. Might even be a higher level than Rogue. I don't know. For me, Rogue is number one. But this is a lot of people's number one. So that should really give you a hint right there. There you go. There you go. Hunter, Coco Artist, Taverns Pole, Astro Knight. There you go. April O'Neil. That's right. April O'Neil. Because Rogue and April both, the shows that they come from, we can't really show them here on the channel. They get blocked, right? Ninja Turtles gets blocked. And of course, Marvel being owned by Disney, all of that stuff is blocked too. But it doesn't stop them from being all-time favorites. It's not like they're going to be forgotten by the Baconeers anytime soon. So of course, if we got Rogue, we got to have another all-time number one in a lot of people's stable. So we got to have the classic April O'Neil in her retro sci-fi go-go dancer outfit. Let's go. Let's go. So once again, courtesy of Master Krakken, and credit to him, man. He came up with this go-go outfit, this fashion craze here, and I've been enjoying it. So that's why I asked him. I was like, hey, man, let me get some more. Let's get Voodoo in there. You know, he threw in Rogue and April. Yeah, and of course, Kitty.
Pardon me. Pontsu.
Kitty's got a job to do, all right? Kitty's got a job to do. So, no, he's not slacking off, though. Don't worry. Kitty's not slacking. He's actually got back to work. He's back on task. And you'll see, we've got one more pinup unlocked, so you won't see it necessarily in this next one. In fact, in this next one, you're going to see that Kitty got wrangled, okay? Kitty was trying to get back to work and got wrangled. But if we're able to fill up even just one more meter, but any more than that, you'll see quite a few, in fact, where he is back on the job in full swing. Okay, he's been getting back to work. All right, he's making that money. So does Kitty even get paid? I don't know. I pay him in pizza rolls. So yeah, we've got April O'Neil here, Rogue and Voodoo so far. We got one more to go. Let's see who it is. Now, I think this one's going to be definitely easy because somebody already guessed it, and the silhouette makes it pretty easy to tell who it is. This is a classic waifu of the station. Maybe not like an all-time. In fact, I would say she's kind of underrated because not a lot of people even know about this show that she's from. But you guys already know. Yeah, there you go. I'm not even going to play the music. You guys already know who it is. Natsuki, our very own Stacked Catgirl. Let's go. That's right. Here on Kitty Corner. It's Kitty Corner here on the Yacht. And looks like she's on lifeguard duty. Or maybe she's on pantsu guard duty. Because look at Kitty there. He's been wrangled up. He's been wrangled and tangled in a straitjacket. What's going on? It's almost like she knew. She knew. Kitty's back on the prowl. He's back in action, but she's not going to let him get away with it. She got him all wrangled and tangled in a straitjacket there. She's not letting it get away. The next couple of waifus, and if we don't unlock them tonight, I'll save them for next week, so don't worry. But the next couple ones, not so lucky, all right? Not so lucky. And do you notice? Okay, yeah, Duo Maxwell, Ron McKay. I was hoping you guys would notice the thigh strap there says save lives. Because what saves lives? Thick thighs save lives. That's right. That's right. So very apropos for Natsuki on lifeguard duty here. Or maybe it's pantsu guard duty. Whatever it is, the thick thighs are going to be able to save lives, just as the thigh strap implies there. Let's go. So, yeah, we've got Kitty here wrangled and tangled. He's in a straitjacket. He's trying to get back to work, though, okay? We'll give him an A for effort. He's trying to get back to work. But we've got Natsuki here. Kitty Corner on the Yacht. Thick thighs a symbol. Thunder thighs. All right? I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's go. So, that is the fourth one. Now, I'll give you a preview here. You can see the preview, just the silhouette. You might be able to guess who it is. Now, we haven't unlocked this one yet, but just in case you feel like filling up that last meter, You can see the silhouette. You might be able to guess who it is. The prop is and the haircut are both sort of a giveaway, but you can also see Kitty there. You see that silhouette of Kitty? He's dive bombing. Look at him, man. He's dive bombing. I told you. He was getting back to work this week, okay? He's been on the prowl. He's dive bombing. So that's the next one you got, but we'll do a quick review. We've got Natsuki. Was it Natsuki or Natsumi? Was it Natsumi? I don't know. I can't. It's been so. We need to watch Hyper Police again. I might have to do like summer reruns of Anime Grindhouse and put some Those Who Hunt Elves and Hyper Police, because we need a. It's Natsuki. That's what I thought. Because yeah, we need to watch these again with some of the newer Baconeers, because those were, I think, over a year ago. It was a while ago that we watched Hyper Police and Those Who Hunt Elves, so we might have to do a refresher course and have a little summer rerun Anime Grindhouse every now and then. But yeah, we've got Natsuki here from Hyper Police. We've got April O'Neil. You already know who it is from Ninja Turtles. We've got Rogue from X-Men Evolution, the Goth Rogue. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, Voodoo, our gasping queen. All three of them rocking the go-go dancer outfit. And then you've got Natsuki as the lifeguard there with the thick thighs, save lives. And if we can get one more meter, although we are getting to the end of the show, so I'll just save him for next week. Don't worry, we'll get him next week. But this is your preview for the next one. As you can see, Kitty is dive bombing, okay? No straight jacket that time. He's back on the prowl. Oh, Daharka 88, let's go. Mesmermizing Dance.
Dance Club Go-Go.
Hell yeah, man.
You're really stacked, aren't you?
Here's a refresher of the Stacked Catgirl.
Oh, thank you, Tavern's Pool, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's see where that meter's at now. Let's see how close we are now. Probably over halfway if I'm doing my math right. Yep, we are a little over halfway. Almost 3/4. Almost 3/4. We're almost there. We are almost there. Can we hit it? Stand up. Be counted.
Magnificent. Look at the size of that thing.
Catgirl Supremacy.
Catgirl Supremacy indeed, Titan. Thank you so much, man. And that does put us a little over 3/4 of the way now. We're almost into Sliver Country, almost to that fifth one. We got to see Kitty dive bombing. Taking it back to his roots. Because remember, before he was Pantsu Patrol, he was just going after entire outfits. You guys see it in the intro, the Sterner Stuff intro, that classic pinup of Lana when she was getting ready for the award show. And Kitty was going after the full outfit, you know? So we're going back to his roots. He's dive bombing the whole outfit there. Okay? That's what's going on right here. We are almost to Sliver Country. I don't know. But we are getting to the end of the show too. I don't know. Should I give it a little time? Look at the size of that thing. Daharka 88, one more push.
Look at the size of that thing.
One more push.
One more push from Daharka 88. Let's go. I think that should do it.
This is the chief. Right, got it.
Let's go.
Oh, and then Ron McChaos calling the chief in. He's like, hey, if the push from Daharka doesn't do it, then let's call the chief. That'll definitely do it. And it did. Tipped us over. In fact, we're in Sliver Country of the next meter right there. So let's go. Getting one more pinup for the night. All right, do you guys want to guess who this is? Do you know who it is, though? Think the prop she's holding in her hand there. I mean, you know what it is. It's a gun, so I might as well just say it's a gun. So she's holding a gun, the short hair. It was a waifu that was featured in Volume 100. Okay? Those are all the hints I'm going to give you. Waifu featured in Volume 100. Who was it that was kind of stole the show using that gun? Okay? That should really, if you think like, look at the hairstyle, think back, Volume 100, a waifu that stole the show with her use of the gun. Lady J is not a bad guess. And there is, well, I already said it. There is a Lady J later, like in the next one. If we were to fill the next meter, you would see Lady J. Spoiler warning. But let's see if you can guess this one here. There you go. Ron McChaos and Tavern's Pull. They got it. See, I knew you guys, if I gave you enough hints, I don't want to like give it away, but if I give enough hints, I know you guys will get it. That's right. From volume 100, stole the show, the actual show. You know, it was like a beauty contest or beauty pageant. That's right. Mainframe. Remember, she was hemming and hawing. She was like, oh, I don't like beauty pageants. And they were like, well, no, we want you to be a contestant. And then just like a woman, she was like, oh, well, then I better get a skimpy bathing suit and get my hair done and everything. You guys remember that? And then she stole the show. A lot of people were voting for Nightshade because Nightshade was looking good. Even, what's the guy's name? Mace was like, yeah, I'm looking at Nightshade, right? But then during the talent portion of the show, Mainframe comes out and she starts wielding the gun, right? She's got the evening gown on. She was playing the violin, but then shows us how she's able to wield the firearm there, and she stole the show. So Kitty says, well, I don't think so. I'm going to steal the outfit. So like I said, Kitty taking it back to his roots there. He's going after the whole outfit. That's where it all started. That's where the whole Kitty meme started. Kitty, in fact, was a meme that sort of started from Mummies Alive. If you guys remember Kati, which was the kitty in Mummies Alive, started shredding up clothes in there. And it was like, whoa, Kitty's just like shredding outfits. And then Master Krakken turned Kitty into like a mascot, basically made him like a mascot for the channel, as well as like an alter ego. He's a bit of an alter ego for Master Krakken himself. And started taking down outfits, right? Started shredding them up. And then from there, it went to the whole like pantsu thing. And, you know, the
Pardon me, Pantsu.
The Pardon Me Pantsu meme was born, right? So Kitty's getting back in action. Like I said, he was taking a bit of a vacation, you know, wasn't doing his job quite as much. Well, now he's back full force. He's going after the outfits. He's going after the pantsu. He's not taking any prisoners, all right? So here we go. He's shredding Mainframe's dress. Scotsman TV with the 10 big Bison Bucks. Let's go.
My guy out here doing God's work from orbit. Put some respect on this man's name.
Thank you, Scotsman TV. I really appreciate that, brother. Really appreciate the 10 big Bison Bucks there. So now we're about a quarter of the way to that next meter. So we've got Mainframe from Cops getting attacked by Kitty. And since we are a quarter of the way to the next one, I'll give you a preview. There's a preview. Now you can see Kitty sailing off in the distance there. Kitty's sailing off in the distance. And I don't know if you can tell, the silhouette's kind of small, but you guys should be able to tell what's Kitty got there in that silhouette. What has he got? He's wrangled something. Looks like a successful mission. He got something there. He got something wrangled and tangled. He's sailing off into the sunset. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a zooked out position. I didn't really, I don't know, maybe I could have rotated the image, but then that would have made Kitty look all weird, because Kitty's like level, but the waifu is not so much. Like, it's like, yeah, it's kind of weird, kind of a weird angle. Maybe I should have like rotated it. I don't know, because it does look a little janky. But yeah, we like janky anyway. But yeah, Kitty's sailing off into the sunset. Mission complete. Yeah, surfboard on a ball there. Yeah, he's sailing off. Mission complete. And who's the waifu? Oh no, who could it be? Who could it be now? But that's the next one. We might have to save that one for next week, because I'm not trying to like drag it out forever. I do appreciate, we had massive support tonight. All right. We had massive support. I appreciate each and every one of you that contributed tonight. We'll save these. All right. We'll save these for next week. We'll put them first in the list. So that way, those first couple of meters will pick up right where we left off, as well as have a whole bunch of new pinups for you as well. And I'm going to do a gaming stream on Sunday. I keep talking about wanting to get back to doing the gaming streams on Orbital Arcade. And then the past few Sundays, I've just been too tired. So every time I'm like, oh, I might do one. And then I don't do one. Well, I'm going to definitely do one. All right. We're going to definitely do one. In fact, I just got a remake of the X-Men Konami arcade game. Do you guys remember the X-Men arcade game? It had that really cool cabinet with 2 screens. It was like extra widescreen, and you could have 6 players. Like Turtles in Time was just 4 players. Streets of Rage, I think, was just 2. Most of those arcade beat 'em ups like Captain America and the Avengers and the aforementioned Turtles in Time was 4 players. That was usually the most you would see. But the X-Men arcade game, the Konami X-Men arcade, had 2 screens. So there was one that was just 1 screen that could only have 4 players as well. But if you were lucky enough to live near an arcade that had the extra wide screen where it used 2 screens and enabled 6 players, there has been a remake of that. And it's updated not just with the original 6 characters, like you've got Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Dazzler, but you also have a bunch of other X-Men characters that weren't even, some of them weren't even around at the time, that are playable in this version, like Cable and Archangel and Gambit and Rogue and Jubilee. So it's got a whole ton of X-Men characters that are playable. You've got, I think 4, it's either 4 or 6. I think it actually does go up to 6, like ally characters. You know, I don't know that there's any online. I think it's just like local co-op, but you can have AI play as the characters for you to sort of replicate that arcade experience. So you can have 6 characters, allied characters on the screen, as well as like the dozens of, it sends like, feels like 20 sentinels on the screen at once. I don't know exactly how many. It feels like a lot though. It gets kind of chaotic. Like you thought Shredder's Revenge, that new Turtles game, got chaotic. This one's pretty crazy too. So it's a remake of the Konami X-Men arcade game in widescreen format with the 6 allied characters there, a whole bunch of extra X-Men that weren't on the original game because there were just 6 characters to begin with. But now we've got like over a dozen, I think, playable characters on there, as well as some additional ally characters that aren't even playable. Like they have like Banshee and Forge. You can't even play as them, but they show up to fight alongside you. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to play that on Sunday. Okay, I'm going to play that on Sunday, and I'll have some exclusive pinups. So if you guys want to support this gaming stream on Sunday, I'm going to have some exclusive Marvel-themed pinups courtesy of Odacat, all right? They're not going to be ever shown here on Sterner Stuff because in the case of one of them, so might be a little much, you know what I mean? Might be a little much, but we can get away with it over on the gaming channel.
The fatigue is real and that pendulum swing is going to come back hard. On a separate issue. You all better be working out. Stay hard, in more ways than one.
Thank you, commies and odd people, and I am, dude. I work out 5 days a week. I'm doing pull-ups, I'm doing push-ups, I'm throwing some weights around. I'm jacked as fuck! Woo! All right, man. But yeah, that is good advice. You know, stay in shape. All right, stay in shape. Be working out. I want all the Baconeers staying in shape. But thank you so much to everyone. Let me give a quick shout out to everybody who donated tonight because we did have massive support tonight. 5 pinups unlocked. That is no slouch at all. Nothing to sneeze at. Commies are not people. Thank you so much. Scotsman TV, Ron McChaos, DeHarka88, Titan, Taverns Pull, Painting and Rambling, Kinzo's Creations, Chester Stevens, Reverb 154, Mavericat, Duo Maxwell, Ron McChaos, T-Bone, Michael Russum, let's see who else, Daryl Walick, Mr. Bug, Ganjeezy is in here, Bloodwork, thank you so much. Let's see who else, scrolling down, want to make sure I shout everyone out that donated tonight. I really appreciate it, man. Massive support tonight, man. Really big support. And then, of course, let's hail the stream boss. He made it to the end. T-Bone Tony. Get those pizza rolls raining. Get that waifu swinging. Oh, look, and Kitty's back on the job. He's back on the job going after the outfit again. All hail T-Bone Tony, the stream boss of the night. Be sure to message me on Discord. Let me know which pinup you would like to get, or I'm sorry, which waifu that you would like to get the pinup treatment to be featured on a future Sterner Stuff live stream. And tune in Sunday to Orbital Arcade, all right? That's the 3rd channel. I keep telling you guys other channels you need to subscribe to, but that's why we call it the Orbital Station, because we got a whole bunch of channels that cater to a whole bunch of things. We got all the classic cartoons here and the live streams here. On this one, we've got the Saturday Night Anime Grindhouse and the live action Zook over on the 2nd channel. And then Orbital Arcade, the 3rd channel, is for gaming, retro gaming. Even if it's a newer game, it's all got that retro feel, the pixel graphics, you know, that sort of retro vibe to it. And I'm going to do a gaming stream on Sunday. So make sure you're subscribed over there if you're interested. And I will have some exclusive pinups for you to unlock if you feel like supporting the stream over there as well. Thank you to everybody for tuning in, not just those that donated, but every single one of you, because your time is valuable. So I appreciate you spending your Friday night here with the Baconeers, the best community on YouTube. Really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great rest of your night, in case I don't see you over on Space Precinct, which is starting in about 30 minutes from now over on Bacon Bits. So if I don't see you there, have a great rest of your night. Hopefully I'll see you for Saturday morning cartoons tomorrow morning and the Anime Grindhouse tomorrow night at midnight. And if I don't, have a great rest of your weekend, all right? Stay awesome, stay based. God bless you all. Let me leave you now with a moment of Zook.
Otherwise, you know what happens when you get naughty, don't you?
Yes, the ratings go up.
What happens when you misbehave?
The ratings go through the roof.
What else happens when you misbehave?
The show gets the flick and Disney takes over. Come down here, I'll do it. Come here. Ready?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know.
You getting a refill. Yeah, could I have some new hands for Christmas?
New hands for Christmas?
Yeah.
What would
And if I get some new hands, you can get a new body.
Felt it. All right, guys, that's the show. Until next time, hope you all have a good one. Remember,
until all is one.
Yes, until all is one.
Thank you for visiting me. It's been real.
Tomorrow.
Goodbye, ninjas.
She's simply awesome. She dashed by me in painted on jeans, and all had turned 'cause she was the cream. In the blink of an eye, I knew her number and her name. Yeah. She said I was the tiger she wanted to tame. Caribbean queen, now we're sharing the same dream, and our hearts they beat as one. No more love on the run. I lose my cool when she steps in the room. And I get so excited just from her perfume. Electric eyes that you can't ignore. And passion burns you like never